And we're live. Welcome into the stream, everyone. Thank you guys all so much for being here. We've got a big game tonight between the Boston Bruins and the Washington Capitals. It is always a fun time when these two teams meet up. They're not in the same division, but they've got that same kind of feeling when they play each other. There's definitely no love lost between these teams. And they met in the playoffs last year. They've had some great battles over the years, and it's a lot of fun whenever the Bruins play the Caps. So I'm excited for this game. I can't wait to get the puck drop. Can't wait to see how this one goes. And it should be a fun game tonight. Boston coming off a big win over the Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday. Devils coming off an OT loss. So they were able to get a point out of their last game against Minnesota. Should be an interesting one tonight down in Washington. Zach Fucale's in goal for the Capitals again. He's been playing well in the games that he's played this year. This is only his third appearance, though. It's just going to be a really interesting game, and I cannot wait to see how it goes. So I hope you guys are excited for a good night of hockey. I know I am. Really appreciate everybody being here. Jay, Gerald, Isaac, Cap, Canada, Kyle, BW, Elvis, Ikeka, Austin, John, welcome in. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I've been doing well. How are you guys doing? Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to get the poll up in the chat. I have a feeling this game's going to overtime tonight. I don't know who's going to win, but I have a feeling that this game's going to overtime. Really, like, I have no, like, statistical evidence for that or any reason to believe that other than that's just how I feel. I just have a gut feeling that this game's going to OT tonight, so we'll have to see. But get your votes in the poll in the chat. Let me know who you guys think is going to win, and I really do think this is going to be a really, really close game. And I would not be surprised if we see some extra time in this one. We get a little 3-on-3 action at the end. Apple Hills, what's going on? Trevor, welcome in. Red Rubber, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Good to have you guys all in the chat. We're getting ready for Bruins and Capitals. And I'm sure this is going to end up being a very tight vote between you all. We already got 14 votes in. 64% on the Bruins right now. But I have a feeling that this is probably going to be a tight vote all night long as to who you guys think is going to win. Nick, what's going on, dude? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I'm with you, Kyle. I just have a gut feeling about this game that we're going to see overtime. We'll have to, obviously we'll find out over the next 2.5 hours how it actually goes, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Yes, I did, Andrew. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Colton, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. We got a bunch in the chat already. This is awesome, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, we're getting ready for puck drop. Yeah, Rask isn't back yet, but he's getting... seems like he's getting really close to signing with Boston and returning. Brent, what's going on? Welcome in. BW, hello. Hey, Trevor's been a member for 7 months now. That is awesome, Trevor. Thank you so much. That is incredible. Really, really, really appreciate the support. 7 months now for Trevor. That is fantastic. Get some hype in the chat for Trevor. That's awesome, dude. Thank you. Yeah, we're still a few minutes away here. Kyle says, hot take, Brad Marchand scores at least 2 goals tonight. Could definitely see that happening. David Pastrnak's actually been the one who's been really hot recently for the Bruins. He has 3 goals in his last 3 games. But I would not be surprised if Marshy were to go off. He's actually done that against the Capitals in quite a few times over his career. And last year in the playoffs, he was a big performer against the Caps in the first round. So, I don't know how much of a hot take that even is, Kyle. It's definitely possible. See, Cap has 3-2 Capitals tonight. I definitely think it's going to be that kind of game. Colton went to a Capitals game 2 years ago. That is awesome. Hope you had a really great time. Boston Sportsman, what's going on? Welcome in. Says Bruins 5-3. That'd be a higher scoring game, but definitely could happen. The Bruins have actually been getting scoring recently. Padres, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Brian, welcome in. Thank you for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Colton says Ovi is going to score 2 goals. Well, that would certainly not surprise me. Ovechkin can score 2 goals in any game that he suits up in. That would definitely be a possibility. Alicia, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I don't know. I'm a little nervous heading into the playoffs. The Bills are a tough matchup, but either way, I'm glad that the Patriots made the playoffs this year. I honestly didn't think they were going to when the season started, so I mean, I'm already happy that they just made it, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. Kyle says Bruins 4-3 in overtime. All right, yeah. See, I think a lot of us are on the same page with this being a close game. Absolutely, Boston Sportsman. Absolutely. Are the Leafs getting Kane? They were one of the teams that were in talks with him, apparently, Brian. But the Edmonton Oilers also are very interested in Kane, and I think we might find more out about that tomorrow. Vernon, what's going on? Good luck to you, my friend, and the Capitals tonight. Yeah, this should be a good matchup. Should be a fun game, and thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Caps have been good, John. Caps, when they lose a lot in overtime. I think they already have like 8 or 9 overtime losses this season, but they don't lose in regulation very often, and they've been playing, pretty decent recently. So this is definitely going to be a good game. Ace, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. As much as I want Georgia to win tonight, Elvis, I really think that Alabama's going to win. It's Alabama, but I hope Georgia wins tonight. I'd love to see a new national champion. Yeah, Isaac, that was definitely shocking for sure. Rocks, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, a lot of you guys on the Bruins tonight, coming off that big win over the Lightning. Now there's some belief in the Bruins. But, I almost forgot. Actually, I did forget. I didn't set these up, which I should. As I got to find the Washington one and the Bruins one. Where are we at? There's the Caps. Where's Boston? There's Pittsburgh. There's Boston. Whoops. There we go. All right. Now we're going to be ready. I keep forgetting to put these up until, right before the stream starts. And now I literally forgot until after the stream started. But let's see. A little up. There we go. Capitals and Bruins ready to go. Evander Kane BW is who we're talking about. He's a free agent now after having his contract terminated. And there's talks about at least up to 5 or 6 teams being interested in him. Yeah, Steelers made the playoffs because there was not a tie last night. Brody, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here, dude. Appreciate you stopping by. Great to have you in the chat. And Robert, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so we got Zach Fucale in goal for Washington. We got Linus Ullmark in goal for Boston, coming off a big win over the Lightning. Teams are lined up at center ice. We are about to begin. The puck is dropped, and this one is underway. Joey, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Avi, what's up, dude? Welcome. Boston takes it into the offensive zone now. We just dropped the puck in this one. Bruins and Capitals in Washington. Smith down low. Bergeron comes in. Capitals move the puck to the corner. They're going to work it out. Capitals up now to the neutral zone. Bruins try and stand up, but Washington pushes it through. Here's Bergeron down. Takes a hit there from Dowd. Bruins move the puck, though, and they clear it back to neutral ice. Good hit there by Garnet Hathaway. Craig Smith dumps it in. Bruins head off for a line change. Trying to work it over now. Back the other way. Capitals pass through the middle. Ends up going by Ullmark. Oshie tries to get to it, but the Bruins take it up the near boards. Can't clear it out on the first chance. McAvoy clears on the second and then dumps it up and out of play as we'll get a whistle here in a neutral zone faceoff. 56 seconds into this one, we get a stoppage in a neutral zone draw coming up here as we are scoreless. Just getting going here in Washington between the Bruins and the Caps. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really mean a lot if you guys could hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. I cover the entire NHL. So fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. Just trying to build a community that has a lot of fun. Fans of all teams can come and enjoy the sport of hockey. As a good forecheck in there. Big hit there by Ovechkin on McAvoy. Caps keep the puck in the offensive zone. Grzelcyk on the other side against Kuznetsov. Caps try and come away with it, but the Bruins clear it out. Here's Pastrnak over the red line. Pass up and not able to get it deep into the offensive zone. Capitals come back the other way. Oshie goes cross corner. Taken now. Kuznetsov throws it in on Ullmark, and he has to be sharp there. And he'll cover that one up. 18:28 to go in the first. It will be an offensive zone draw for Washington. Hey, there you go, Ace. Congratulations. I hope it goes really, really well for you. Yes, Vernon, these teams met in the first round of the playoffs last year. Boston won that series in 5 games, and we'll see what happens here tonight. Little different of a Capitals team, different Boston team as well from what we saw last year. As this one's down in the corner, sent back to the point. Jensen with a long shot. That one deflects on the way through, but goes wide. And now we get a stoppage, and it looks like I think that puck was played with a high stick. Yes, they're calling this a high stick. Not a penalty high stick, but the puck was played with a high stick. So they're going to whistle that one down, and we should have a neutral zone face-off coming up. Sharik, hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hey, we got a dono from Trevor. 2 on the stream from Trevor. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Let's get that hype in the chat. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Trevor. Let's move now. Capitals through the neutral zone. Bruins trying to get it back. It's Anton Bleed. Backhanded up the wall. Lars Eller takes it. Caps have possession now. Moved up through the middle. Dumped into the offensive zone by Sprong. John Moore has to go back to get it for Boston. He rims it up and trying to get it out of the zone, but the Capitals keep it in. Bruins trying again. Can't clear. Caps with a shot. That one goes off the outside of the goal and around the net. Played down, now out, back the other way. Here comes Carson Kuhlman after it. Trevor Van Riemsdyk gets it for Washington. He'll spin off the Kuhlman hit and carry the puck up ice. Out to the neutral zone. Now he'll curl back. Goes D to D, and the Capitals get a line change while keeping possession of the puck. Yeah, I watched the first 2 periods as that shot just goes wide, and then the Bruins were in control. So, chance out in front here is a backhand, and the Capitals score! It's Connor Gerry breaking the ice! Just over 3 minutes in! Gerry backhands one past Ullmark, and it's a 1-0 lead for Washington. And nobody on the Bruins can play that puck properly. It goes by Carlo. It goes by Ullmark out in front. And Gerry just picks it up in front of the net and backhands it home. That was a pretty easy goal there for Connor Gerry as the Bruins don't control the puck in the defensive zone. And it is 1-0 Washington. They've had the better of the zone time so far in this game. Boston now looking to regroup and respawn. Back out to Carlo, long shot. That one, chance for Bergeron, and he gets it off the pad. Big stop there from Foucault. Back now down in the corner. Played here by Riley. And that's cleared all the way down. But we're going to have an icing call against Boston. 16:24 to go, and this top line's going to be stuck out on the ice. Great deflection by Bergeron in front. He hit the post with the deflection, and then the rebound he got on goal as well. But Foucault came over with the pad. Taken now, Marchand out, and that's cleared all the way back down to the Washington zone. Played around here, Justin Schultz takes it, carries it up for the Capitals. Gets this one through the middle, over the red line. Here's Ovechkin, pass again, back into the middle. Schultz jumping up, but his backhand attempt gets deflected well wide. Now out at the point, back to Ovi. Spin around shot, that one goes high off glass. Played now by Kuznetsov. Caps right back into the offensive zone. Stolen away, though, by Taylor Hall. His pass for Pastrnak too far in front, but Pasta beats out the icing. And the Capitals rim it around and try and clear it out. They come back up now through neutral ice. Brought into the offensive zone again. That one taken by TJ Oshie. He's just going to spin around. It goes off a skate, but right to a teammate. Over now, Trevor Van Riemsdyk walks in. He shoots one! And Ullmark trying to find it. He looks like he squeezes it behind him. And a big save there from the Bruins goaltender, as the Capitals were fairly close to making it to 2-0, but Ullmark makes a save on that one and covers it up. It will be an attacking zone face-off for Washington. Any Knights, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. This one almost trickled through Ullmark, but he was able to squeeze the skates together and cover that. As the faceoff is now won back, Bruins try and clear it out. Back to the Washington zone. TVR is going to play it. Van Riemsdyk around his own net. Backhands it up the boards to Wilson. Wilson takes a hit from Frederick. And the Bruins keep the puck in the offensive zone. Frederick after it now in the corner, getting physical. Need to see that from him, especially against a team like Washington. Steen with it now down low. Trying to get it through. Takes it to the corner and just works off the hit from Van Riemsdyk. Tries to backhand it out to the middle now. Coyle keeps it in. Charlie Coyle's, his pass goes off a skate. Puck ends up back in the corner. Coyle gets it back though, trying to find it in front, but only Capitals there. And Tom Wilson comes back the other way. Drop pass into the offensive zone. Back to Wilson, right from the face-off dot. And there's a shot that's stopped by Ullmark with the pad. Trying to work it around, moved into the middle. Capitals right back setting up shop in the offensive zone. Back to Nick Backstrom now. Goes to the other side. Fehervari with a chance, but he fans on the shot. And the Boston Bruins finally able to clear that, but it goes into the bench, and that's out of play with 14:10 to go. And instead of being a neutral zone faceoff, it's going to go back to the Bruins zone, and the Caps will have another O-zone draw here, as Boston shot that one into the bench from their own zone, and it will be a defensive zone faceoff now. Yeah, welcome in, Any Knights. Really appreciate you stopping by. It's great to have you in the chat. Eller's going to get kicked out of the face-off dot. Now McMichael comes in to take it, and it's won back by Curtis Lazar of the Bruins. Gets it now McAvoy trying to start the breakout for Boston. Gets it back and skates through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Pass over to this side. Bleed with a good ripper. And Fucali makes the save on that. It will be an offensive zone face-off now for the Bruins as they flip the ice. Just over 6 minutes into this one, we're going to head to our first commercial break. 13:58 to go in the first. It's 1-0 Washington on Connor Sherry's backhand goal. And that is the only goal in this game so far. Bruins will be in the attacking zone when we come back, as we head to a commercial stoppage. Thank you guys all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL. Fans of every team, welcome and wanted here on the channel. Really, really appreciate it. It helps out a lot. Hippo, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I mean, I kind of agree with you, Any Knights, but it's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point that Rask is going to be coming back. Yes, the All-Star game is in Vegas this year. That's coming up at the beginning of February. We're actually less than a month away now. Yeah, Caps with the lead in shots and certainly have a lead in offensive zone time. That's been very Capitals heavy so far in this game. Yeah, Taylor Hall had a couple of assists on Saturday. Bruins in general had a very good game against Tampa Bay on Saturday. Obviously, so far in this one, it hasn't translated into this game, but still early, still a lot of hockey left to be played. Monster. My old friend Monster and some Pink Whitney mixed in. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. And cheers to everybody watching. Thank you all so much for the support. Happy birthday, Hippo, as well. Thank you so much for stopping in. Really, really appreciate it. All right, we're coming back from the commercial break now, and we'll get ready. No, Tuukka Rask is not playing center. He is a goaltender. Mike and Julie, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat, as always. Now the Capitals are going to come back out into the Boston, and Grzelcyk breaks the play up, though. Bruins take the puck. Played now, McAvoy over to Craig Smith into the offensive zone. Drop pass from Marchand. High shot there, and Fucale makes a nice glove save. He'll cover that one up on Marchand's shot. And it'll be an offensive zone face-off now coming up here for the Bruins again. With a good chance from right out at the top of the circle, but Fucale was able to see it. Through the traffic in front and snag it with the glove. McAvoy hadn't quite gotten into his sight line yet. Offensive zone draw now. One back there by Coyle. Bruins setting up. Carlo out high. Plays it down to the half boards. There's Trent Frederick. He gets hit from Schultz. Coyle gets the puck. Trying to move it to the middle. It's poked away, though, by the Caps. Up ice now, Eller, but heavily back-checked there by the Bruins, and it's going to be offsides as Charlie Coyle was able to pull that puck back over the blue line, and it's offsides against the Capitals as they drag it in, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Yeah, Matthew Boldy, Boston College. I remember watching him in college. He's a phenomenal player. And he played against Boston last week on Thursday for the Minnesota Wild, scored his first NHL goal. Huge congratulations to him for that. I'm a big, big fan of his and have been since his BC days, so I hope he does well in Minnesota. As Ullmark holds the post there, and we're going to get a little pushing and shoving now after the whistle as Bleed gets into it with McMichael after the whistle, and they end up getting separated by the linesman. We haven't had an overly physical start to this game. We're about 7 minutes in, but usually doesn't take much for these two teams to get at each other physically. Hey, Rick, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to have you in the chat, as always. Taken now. Played down to the corner. Alexander Ovechkin as the Caps set up again in the offensive zone. Washington certainly winning this first period so far. Comes around. Carlson tries to send it into the middle. Poked away by the Bruins, but Kuznetsov plays it on the sideboards. Stolen away by McAvoy, and the Bruins clear it out. Boston can't get it into the offensive zone, though. There it's knocked down by the Caps, and that puck was played with a high stick. We're going to get a whistle now with 12:40 to go in the first. Bleed's actually had an extremely good year this year. I've never seen Anton Bleed play as good as he's playing this year. He's had an awesome season so far, which I'm very surprised at because he hasn't really shown anything at the NHL level until this season. Howler gets kicked out there, so Pastrnak comes in to take the draw and wins it back. Blocker save off the point shot by Fucale. Bruins trying to set up again in the attacking zone, but the Caps are going to clear it out. Moved back now, and Vakanainen throws that off a stick. It's going to be a center ice face-off. And that one went on a play off of the Capitals there, so that will be a center ice face-off coming up. 12:28 to go. All right, see you later, Hippo. Thank you for stopping in. Really, really appreciate it. Yes, Robert. That's that happens sometimes, especially with the Leafs. I mean, apparently there's like 5 or 6 teams in on Evander Kane already, so obviously there's a market for him. I certainly wouldn't be there from Ullmark on the long point shot, and he covers that one up with 11:54 to go, and here in the first it will be an attacking zone draw again for Washington. McAvoy is phenomenal, Rocks. Absolutely phenomenal. No, I mean, Evander Kane's a free agent now. Like, nobody's trading for Evander Kane. He's a free agent. His contract got terminated, so he's free to sign with any team. And apparently there's already like 5 or 6 that have been calling about him. Van Riemsdyk back to get it. Down low behind the net. Marchand chasing, but the Caps move it up and they get it out of the zone. Here comes TJ Oshie. Dumps it in, goes on the forecheck. And now we're going to get a holding call. Or an interference call here. All right, Capitals going to the power play. Matt Grzelcyk headed to the penalty box. Washington already up by 1. They're going to get a power play chance here. It's an interference call against Matt Grzelcyk of the Bruins. And Washington will have a 2-minute power play here and a chance to extend the lead. Yeah, I want nothing to do with Evander Kane. That guy is an absolute just distraction every single place he's been. And terrible for the locker room. I think whoever ends up signing him is very much going to regret it. Yes, Nicholas Backstrom is playing. Nicholas Backstrom has the puck right now. Passes it back to the point. Gets it back now, half boards. As Washington is setting up now in the offensive zone on the power play. Karlsson with a bomb! And a nice save there. Ullmark comes out and cuts down the angle. And covers that one up with 1:28 to go on the power play. It will be an offensive zone face-off again for Washington. Welcome back, Hippo. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Karlsson blasted that one from the point, but Ullmark saw it the whole way. And was able to make the save. Sending it all the way down. Yes, I have, Michael. It's pretty good. Dennis, what's going on? Ibrahim, what's going on? Welcome in. Jacob, welcome. Magic Man, welcome in. Caps trying to set up here in the offensive zone. Bruins steal the puck, though, on the penalty kill. And that one's cleared all the way down. I mean, any Knights, both of their numbers have been very similar this year. There really hasn't been that big of a difference between Swayman and Ullmark. Swayman has a little bit better goals against. I think Ullmark's save percentage is slightly higher than Swayman. So, like, there's really not much separating them statistically. They've been very similar this year. And they've both been good. They both have very solid, good numbers. Yes, Ovechkin definitely gets 300 career power play goals. Ullmark with a huge glove save there on Ovechkin. Speaking of Ovechkin and power play goals, he just ripped a one-timer from his patented spot at the top of the circle, but Ullmark snags it with the glove. Oh yeah, Robert. You can get almost any flavor you want at this point. They make a lot of flavored stuff now. Capitals win the faceoff, setting back up again in the offensive zone. 12 seconds to go on the power play here. Caps trying to extend the lead to 2. They've doubled the shots of the Bruins 8-4. That one's out high as the final seconds are starting to tick away. Caps still have possession though in the offensive zone. Power play comes to an end. It's back to 5-on-5 hockey. Capitals trying to get it down low. Bruins break up the play and they're going to clear it out. Back to the neutral zone. It's still a 1-0 game here now with 9:12 to go in the first period. Played up now, move through the middle, into the offensive end. Washington right back on the attack, but they're offsides, and that's going to get whistled down. And we'll have a neutral zone faceoff coming up, 9:04 to go in the first, but we're going to get a commercial break first. Capitals still holding on to the 1-0 lead. They got that one pretty early on here in the period. No scoring sense as these two teams, well, I would say continue to go back and forth, but it's been mostly the Capitals in the offensive zone. They've certainly controlled the play here so far in this one, but we'll see if Boston has a response in the latter half of this period. THG, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat. I think Boston needs another defenseman. They need another NHL defenseman any nights. Like, I think they're too thin on the back end. They need at least one more solid top 6, hopefully even top 4 guy before going into the playoffs. If I could party with any Bruin, who would it be and why? It would definitely be Brad Marchand, and because all of the stories about him partying are absolutely wild, so I know that it would be a crazy, really fun time with Brad Marchand. Yo, Erica, what's going on? Welcome in, and shout out to the Hallowells for watching as well. What absolute legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boston has a 94% chance of making the playoffs this year, so I don't think they're staying out of the wild card spot. They're going to be in the playoffs. Unless they epically collapse down the back end of the second half of the season, they're going to be in the playoffs. All right, we're back now from the commercial break. Caps have the puck in the neutral zone. They dump it back into the Boston end. So we tick, and that one goes up and out of play. So that one got thrown in over the end glass. You don't see that all that often. Faceoff's going to come back out to the neutral zone. Like the Leafs against Colorado the other night, Rocky. One back now. Washington with it. That gets moved up. And that's cleared all the way down. Chara is not going back to the Bruins, Cap. No, I can assure you that that ship has sailed and everybody is moved on from that, I believe. As Pasternak's shot gets blocked there, Bruins setting up now in the offensive zone. Vakanainen goes D to D. Long shot in, deflection, rebound just sent wide. Haula trying to get it in front, but only Capitals are there as Protas starts the breakout. Into the offensive end now. Wilson brings it in, tries to backhand it, ends up down behind the net. Played around here, Capitals working it around. Lysel's playing in the WHL right now, THG, and from what I've heard, he's had a pretty good season. Believe he's playing for the Vancouver Giants in the WHL, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Vancouver. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But he's had a good year from what I've heard about how he's done. You know, his first year over in North America after playing in Sweden, you know, so far in his career. Capitals back into the offensive zone here. 7.5 to go in the first. Here's another shot. And Connor Sherry snipes it. Top shelf on Ullmark. Over the glove and under the bar. Connor Sherry has his second goal of the period. And it's 2-0 Washington with 7:28 to go. And Connor Sherry is having himself a night. That's a good guy to get going if you're the Washington Capitals. Because he can provide some significant secondary scoring if you can get Connor Sherry going. And he had a slow start to this season, but he's been really good since. And he's having himself a night here tonight, as he absolutely ripped that one. High glove just under the bar, and puts the Caps up by 2 now with 7:19 to go in the first. Well, there's still a long way to go, Noel. There's a long way to go. But welcome in. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. John, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. Taken now. Bergeron in the offensive zone. Face-off gets one back by the Capitals, and they clear it out. Sent around now. Cycling in the offensive zone. Hathaway tries to throw it in front. Trying to work this one down low. Played behind the net. Back out to the point. Capitals keep it in. Send it right back down. Mike Riley trying to play it. Sherry's there, though, for Washington. And finally now the Bruins are going to get it out to the neutral zone. As Marchand takes the hit. Capitals clear it back to neutral ice. Victoria, what is going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. And now Kuznetsov's going to head off for a penalty. Boston's going to get a power play here. Kuznetsov doesn't like it. We'll see. I want to see a replay of this before I make any judgment on if it's a good call or not. It's a holding call here against Evgeny Kuznetsov. Let's see. Marchand. That was kind of a ticky-tack call. The call on Grzelcyk earlier that gave the Caps a power play was pretty ticky-tack too. So I guess that's just how this game is going to get called. But I would say that both of the penalty calls so far in this game, there's been one on each team, and they were both pretty ticky-tack calls. But hey, that's how the refs are calling it, so that's how you got to play. Sent down here. Capitals with a good early clear. Islanders, big fan, what's going on? Ghost, what's going on? Welcome in. Terrell, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Bruins trying to set up. That was a bad pass behind them. And back the other way now. Washington shorthanded into the Bruins zone, but they're going to be offsides. They can... Yeah, I mean, there's still a long way to go, Terrell. This game's not over yet, but... There's a lot of hockey left to be played. You can't... Nobody wins a game in the first period. You got to play 60 minutes. But Boston can't really afford to go down by 3. That's a hole that you really don't have a good chance statistically of digging out of. As that one goes wide, Fucale makes a save. Rebound again. High slot shot. That one's blocked. McAvoy with a great opportunity. Back out now to Pastrnak. Bruins setting up in the offensive zone. Power play's gotten them a couple of chances already. Marchand with it. Backhands it in. Fucale makes the save and covers it up. Now we have some pushing after the whistle with 45 seconds to go. And Marchand's down in the corner, bleeding out of his nose. And Marchand, he's going to have to go get that nose patched up as he is bleeding all over the place. And we got a 4-minute high-sticking penalty call here against the Capitals. And there was no doubt about that one. As Dowd just right on the bridge of Marchand's nose cuts him wide open with his stick. And Boston is going to have a 5-on-3 here for another 45 seconds. And then they're going to have even more 5-on-4 time as Marchand's bleeding on the bench, and he's not gonna be able to go back out there until they get that patched up. His jersey's got all kinds of blood down the front of it. No, that back when the goalies played the stand-up style, they gave up like 5 goals a game. The butterfly style is easily proven to be the best goaltending style. No, they could score 2 power play goals on the 4-minute before it would be taken off. So it's not exactly the same as a major penalty. They can't score unlimited, but they could score 2 as Pasternak's stick snaps. How many times has that happened this season? McAvoy's shot blocked off the shin pad and cleared back out of the zone. Back into the offensive zone. Here's Pasta. That one's deflected up high and goes out of play as Van Riemsdyk gets a stick in the way. 18 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Jason, what's going on? Welcome in. And now we get another penalty call. It's an interference call against Patrice Bergeron. So we just had 3 penalties called here in like the past 2 minutes. And that's going to do it for the 5-on-3 as Bergeron heads to the box for the Bruins. So it's going to be a brief 4-on-3 here, and then it's going to go to 4-on-4. Work down here, played up. And we're going to go to 4-on-4 now as the power play comes to an end. And we're going to get a minute 40 of 4-on-4 time. So some open ice now for these two teams to work with it as Boston brings it up through the offensive zone. Trying to go back the other way. Kuznetsov into the offensive end. Capitals trying to set up. Nope, they're offsides. And 1:24 now to go in the 4-on-4. We're going to have a neutral zone face-off coming up after the Capitals go offsides. We got 4:15 left to go in the first period. 4:15 remaining as we head to the final commercial break here. And 4-on-4 action for a decent amount longer. Still got like over a minute of 4-on-4 before all these penalties finally get sorted out. Just had a parade to the penalty box for both teams. Just everybody taking penalties all over the ice here. So these refs have already, they've made a bunch of calls already. This is gonna be one of those games I think that ends up having a lot of penalties in it, and it's not like it's even like physical penalties. It's like stick fouls and stuff. But I would not be surprised if both teams end up with like 5 or 6 power plays each by the end of this game. It's gonna be like that first year after the 2005 lockout when they changed all the like clutch and grab rules and everybody was on the power play like 8 times a game. Feels like it's gonna be one of those nights. Eddie, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Yes, Rox, I'm very much a fan of the Providence Bruins. I've always gone to a lot of their games over the years growing up. Paolo, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Hey, there you go, Eddie. That's awesome. We do not have safe ice here. We got a big snowstorm last weekend, but it's all melted away. Almost all of it's melted away now. It was really warm it was really warm yesterday. It all melted. Then it was cold today. It's going to be cold tomorrow, but then it's going to warm up again later in the week. Huge Providence College fan any nights. My sister actually goes to PC. I've been a PC hockey fan even before she went there. That's this hat, Providence. So, big fan of PC hockey. All right, so we got 1:05 left to go in the 4-on-4. Caps back in their own end, trying to work the puck out. Trying to work this one out. Taken by Schultz. Move through the middle. And that puck gets taken away from Nicholas Backstrom as Smith stands him up. Grizzly takes it now for Boston. Trying to work it through. Here's Riley. Played over here. D to D. Back behind the net. And Grizzly with it. Trying to skate it out. He's going to pass it over back to Riley. It goes off his stick. And Capitals will regroup back in their own zone. Jensen with the puck. Trying to play it around. Yay, Slapshot Sweethearts. What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. It's great to see you in the chat. Really appreciate you coming by. That's brought in down low. Final seconds of the 4-on-4 ticking off here. And now the Bruins will still have a minute and a half of power play time. Bergeron's out of the box. And this is what was left on, whoops, wrong one. This is what was left on Nick Dowd's high sticking penalty against Marchand. So the Bruins still have a little bit of power play time to work with here. Trying to work it around. Kept in, out high. That goes past McAvoy. Here come the Capitals shorthanded with some speed. Wilson pass in. Oh, Mark with a huge save. Massive stop there by Linus Ullmark. And it stays a 2-0 game. That would have been a disaster for the Bruins. But Ullmark saves them in their, on the chance there that just, I mean, that pass was just way too far in front of McAvoy. He couldn't get back in time. And they are very lucky that Ullmark was able to stop that. Huge save there from the Bruins goaltender. All right, see you later, Any Nights. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Riley Duran is one of PC's players. Into the offensive zone. Shot in here. Trying to take it now. Oscar Steen down to the corner. Behind the net. Pass back for Coyle. Coyle with it. Bruins still have 28 seconds of power play time to work with here. We got another delayed penalty call coming up. And this one's going to be against the Capitals again. Holy cow. How many penalties are we going to get in this first period? John Carlson is headed to the penalty box now. Alex, what's going on, dude? Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. It's great to see you in the chat. I mean, Hala got cross-checked in front of the net there by Carlson, but it's literally a penalty like every other minute with these. I mean, it's been nothing but penalties in this first period. This has got to be like, God, what are we on? Like 6 or 7 penalty calls now already? Bruins trying to set this back up in the offensive zone. That one's rimmed around. Pastrnak, good job keeping it in. Moved over here. Sent down to the corner. Played in front. Here's a chance, and Pastrnak scores! He's got 4 goals in his last 4 games as David Pastrnak has come alive in the new year. And it's a 2-1 game as the Bruins score. And Boston's back in it here with the power play goal. And they cut the lead in half. It's a 1-goal game, and that was a 5-on-3 goal, which means they will still have regular power play time to work with on the Carlson cross-checking penalty. And David Pastrnak is getting hot for the Bruins. That's his 4th goal in the last 4 games. This is what they needed from him. He was very slow start to the season. Wasn't playing all that well before the Christmas break. He has looked like the old David Pastrnak since the return in the new year. And that is exactly what the Boston offense needed. And he gets a big one here. They still have a minute and a half of power play time. Back out high. Here's a long shot ripped high. Marchand keeps it in. Back to Pasta. Over now into towards the circle. Cross ice. Doesn't connect. Back out to Pastrnak playing the point. He's going to switch now with Grizzly. Pasta goes down the far side. Gets it right back on the half wall. Back out to Grizz. Grizz looking to make a play. He falls down. Passes over to Marshy. And there's a goal as the Bruins score! Marchand throws it on net. And that somehow squeaked through. And Marchand ties the game as it's 2-2 with a couple of late power play goals. And the Bruins have evened it up with 45 seconds to go. And Marchand just throws this one in on goal. A good shot. And it finds its way through under the bar. That was an absolute snipe from Brad Marchand. With traffic in front, Charlie Coyle on the doorstep. That was an absolute snipe right under the bar from Brad Marchand. And despite the bloody nose, he's able to put the puck in the back of the net. And we have a tie game here with 43 seconds now to go in the first period. Pablo, what's going on? James, what's going on? Welcome in. What a hockey game we have here, which it always is when these two teams play. It always is. But I love this matchup so much. Bruins Caps is just phenomenal every time. And this first period has certainly been a wild one. As we're down to 10 seconds to go, Caps back into the offensive zone. Trying to go backdoor, and what a stop there from Allmark. Taken now. Hit down in the corner, and that's going to do it. The horn sounds. And we get a stoppage. The horn sounds. The period is over, and that is going to do it. Everyone will have a chance to catch their breath after a crazy first period between the Bruins and the Capitals. We are headed to the first intermission now with a 2-2 game. The Capitals went up 2-0 on a couple of goals from Connor Sherry, one very early, then one later in the first. And then the Bruins come storming back on the power play. Late in the first period, they score a 5-on-3 goal. They score a 5-on-4 goal, and they tie this up at 2 before the end of the period. And now we will head in to the intermission all tied. And we'll have a chance now to hang out and chill in the chat with 20 minutes down. Still 40 minutes of action to go. I have a feeling this is going to be a wild one for the full 60 minutes. Really, really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL. Fans of all teams, welcome and wanted. And just trying to build a community where everyone can come together, have fun, and enjoy the NHL. Really, really appreciate all the support tonight, guys. And we have some time now to just decompress and hang out a little bit during this intermission, because that was as crazy of a first period, I think, as we could have had. 4 goals in period 1. See you later, Hippo. D-Wade, what's going on? Welcome. Trial, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to have everybody in the chat. Always Hockey, what is going on? I'm trying to say hi to everybody. Weather is cold, Pablo. Very cold. Hey, Tim, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Michael, welcome in. Thank you so much. Hey, Michael, you're looking good with those overs. Caps over 2.5 and the total over 5.5. Looking very, very good so far, to say the least. Yeah, a lot of action, Kyle. I know you're a big fan of the higher scoring games, so you must be loving this one tonight. Thank you, Brent. Really, really appreciate that. Glad you enjoy the channel. Yeah, Seattle's playing for the first time in a long time tonight. They've got Colorado. Always Hockey. Appreciate having you here, Austin. Thank you so much for stopping in. Really, really appreciate it. Boca Raton. Nice, Tim. 71. That is beautiful. Yes, I live an hour south of Boston, Ghost. So, I'm definitely in what's considered the Boston area, yes. Yeah, a lot of penalties in the first period of that one. But I don't know. I've become so numb to officiating and it not being good that it's just whatever. Like I try not to let it get me down, because it's not just hockey. It's literally every sport. The NFL refs are bad. NBA refs are bad. MLB umpires are absolutely atrocious. NHL refs are bad. Like, it's the way it is. Yeah, there's been that first period trial was, I mean, a complete ref show. I mean, there had to have been like 7 penalty calls in that first period for against both teams. Like, I feel there were at least 2 or 3 against Boston, and then the rest were all against Washington. There were a ton of penalties in that first period, and it feels like every game gets called differently in the NHL. I feel like every ref calls the game differently, so like depending on who's reffing, every game gets called differently. Hey, thank you so much, Jason. Really, really appreciate it. D Wade thinks Pasta is going to score again. He's got 1 in that first. We'll see if he adds to it, but he has been hot. Vernon, yeah, Olmark made some monster saves. I mean, you could definitely say that the second goal for the Capitals, or no, the first goal, excuse me, for the Capitals was one that the second goal was just an absolute snipe. I mean, Gerry just put it right under the bar. That's one where you just kind of tip your cap to the shooter and say, hey, you ripped one high glove. Beautiful. The first goal, Olmark definitely would like to have back, but he certainly made up with it with some of the saves that he made later in the period. No doubt about it. Pretty impressed, Isaac, after everything that's happened to the Raiders in the regular season, and the whole situation with John Gruden, then the Henry Ruggs situation. The fact that they were still able to make the playoffs, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, the Colorado Michael is very heavily favored tonight. The money line on Colorado tonight was like minus 4 something. You do not see that in the NHL. Minus 400 on a money line. So that shows, I mean, Colorado's got to be one of the most favored teams of the season in the NHL tonight against Seattle, but we'll see. I think that's going to be a pretty good game, Pablo. I think the 49ers can definitely give the Cowboys a game. I think that's going to be one of the closer matchups in the NFL this weekend. Hey, Ghost, I've never seen mutant football, but if you can kill the ref, I think a lot of people would like that. Yeah, I mean, trial, that's one of the things, though, that they've made kind of what's called a point of emphasis this season, is like the cross-checks and the net front battles. They're trying to just like make those penalties now. So I'm not surprised that it got called, but last year that definitely would not have been called. You're right about that. Hey, Sports Entertainment, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, this has been an awesome game so far. Definitely a wild one, back and forth between these two. Capitals early, Bruins storming back late, and we still got 2 more periods to go. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's very inconsistent, trial. I'm 100% with you on that, but see, I've gotten to a point where like it's a point of numbness to it that I just like try not to even worry about it anymore, because there's nothing I can do to change it. So rather than have it make me upset and being mad all the time, I've just gone numb to it. It's like, whatever, it is what it is. I'm just gonna try and enjoy the damn game, because if I focused on the officials every game, I would just not enjoy watching the games because it's so inconsistent. Colts choking was hilarious, Brian. I thought that was very, very funny. If you bet Seattle and they win, you will have a massive payout on that, Kyle. Absolutely. But Seattle would have to win that game, which obviously is not expected to happen, but the payout would be huge, to say the least. Yeah, I also would probably like the over in that game, Noel, as well. But I did not bet the over-under. I just took Avalanche puck line, assuming that they're going to win by at least 2, but we'll have to see. I'm already starting to second-guess it because they were so heavily favored, but I don't know. I feel the Avalanche are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Like, they're playing really good hockey. Xanified, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Ikeiko, welcome back. Joey, welcome back. Yes, the Minnesota Wild, I do think, are a playoff team this year, Ikeika. That Central Division is tough, but I do think Minnesota gets in the playoffs. Yeah, Steelers play the Chiefs. I unfortunately do think that the Chiefs are going to win that game, but we'll see. Maybe the Steelers can pull off the upset. Yeah, Vernon just calls them zebras. Yeah, absolutely. Shots were 11-10 in favor of Washington, so fairly even shots. Isaac, they definitely do not. Ice Coast, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Yes, Rick Bonus was very upset with that penalty call, Keika, yes. Bees were buzzing at the end of the period. Joshua says the Kraken are going to get pumped today. That's what everyone expects to happen. Again, you know, the games are played for a reason because not every game is won on paper, but actually no game is won on paper. But I do kind of have that feeling, Joshua. Colorado is playing very well right now. Wow, minus 685 on the alternate line for the Kraken. That would be nuts if that hit, Michael. Yeah, well, that's more of the game getting softer trial. They don't want that. They don't want those nasty net front battles anymore. They don't want, you know, it's all about guys not getting hurt. Yoda, it was a complete penalty show. A complete penalty show in that first period. I mean, I'm going to look. I'm going to pull up the box score. I got to see here. There had to have been like 7 or 8 penalty calls in that first period. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there were only 6? I really feel like I thought there were more than that. I guess not. Well, all right, the double minor against Dowd. So that's really just 1. So Grizzlick went for interference. I thought it was kind of ticky-tack. Then Kuznetsov went for holding. I also thought that one was kind of ticky-tack. Then you had the Nick Dowd penalty that busted open Marchand's nose. That was a pretty obvious penalty. He got a double minor. Then Bergeron got the interference penalty, and then Carlson got the cross-checking penalty. So 2 penalties against Boston, 3 against Washington, but Dowd's was kind of 2 because it was a double minor. So that gave the Bruins extra power play time. So it kind of felt like 2 penalties there. So I don't know. It felt like even more than that, honestly. I don't know who's gonna win, Lily. I wish I had a crystal ball that would tell me who would win because I'd bet every single game. But this game is completely up for grabs now. I mean, Washington started that period really well, but Boston came back as the period went along. I still think this game's completely up for grabs, and it's probably gonna come down to who wins the third period as to who wins the game. Oh, Jesus. Holy cow, Michael. That would be fantastic if that hit. I mean, I don't love the Kraken alternate line actually hitting, personally. I mean, not with the way that Colorado's playing right now, but if that were to hit, I mean, the payout's well worth it. Holy cow. If you get anything that can turn $20 into $500, I feel like is worth the $20. Yoda from Halifax, Nova Scotia, welcome in. Thank you so much for watching it. Really, really appreciate you being in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, both Florida teams' rocks are very good this year. Tampa and the Panthers both having very good seasons. Yeah, Trevor, I do think that is going to happen. Oh, so Australia's lines are different than, yeah, so US uses like the plus and minus system where if it's a favorite, it's a minus, if it's an underdog, it's a plus, and it tells you, the different odds tell you how much you'll win. So Australia just uses a multiplier, like 4.5. So you had the Bruins and over 5.5 for 4.5. Okay. So you just multiply your bet by 4.5, and that's how much the payout would be. So that's interesting. That's cool, Joshua. It's interesting how like different countries do it. Yeah, Rangers are a sneaky team, Michael, because like I feel like the Rangers are a team that like they're gonna win big games, but you never know which ones. Like, there was a game I thought they were gonna win the other day and they lost, but then the one before that I thought they were gonna lose and they ended up winning. Hang on, I want to go back. What Rangers game was it that I thought they were gonna win and then they lost? It was just the other night. Let me pull up the Rangers schedule here. Oh, it's the one that they lost to Vegas, the first one on this road trip. I thought they were gonna beat Vegas, and they lost 5-1. Like they got blasted 5-1. But then the game last Saturday, the second against the Lightning, I thought the Rangers were gonna lose that game, and they beat the Lightning 4-0. So like the Rangers to me have been a very hard team to like try and gauge this year because they win games that I don't expect them to, but then they lose games where I'm like, oh, that's when they might pull off a win, and then they don't. So I've personally had, I mean, maybe other people are really good at betting the Rangers, but I've personally had a lot of issues gauging the Rangers on which games they're going to pull off the win and which ones they're not this year. But that's just me. On the other hand, I've been very good with Anaheim this year. My Anaheim bets have been very good where I know I've done well in predicting which games they're going to win and which ones they're not. Bruin, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, Rangers have a great future. Absolutely. Marchand is very good, Avi. Yes. Jim, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. We got another Caps fan. Man, I love the mix. We have such a good mix, and the Capitals are one of the most well-represented teams on the channel. There's a lot of Cap fans here, so anytime we get a Capitals game or a Bruins game, like there's so many for both in the chat. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, that's why I don't use the word lock, Michael, in hockey. There's no such thing. If people think the NFL is bad with upsets or college football is bad with upsets, they should try betting hockey for a couple of weeks because there is absolutely no such thing as a lock in hockey. Or at least in the NHL. I mean, I don't know, maybe European leagues do and whatnot, but the NHL, like even the worst teams in the league in the NHL, like the Arizonas and the Montreals and the teams like that, they always pull off upsets somewhere along the way during the season, and trying to predict when is extremely difficult. So I don't use the word lock in hockey because I feel like that's why I was so shocked when I saw like minus 400 on the money line for the Avalanche today, because I'm like, there's no way that there's actually that high of a percentage chance of them winning that game. Like, Seattle has a chance. The game's not played on paper. The game has to actually be played. I agree with you about Vegas Xanafied. I think when Eichel comes back for them, that's going to be a scary team in the West. If they can keep the puck out of their net, which has been an issue for them this season. I think Seattle's going to build for the future well, Pablo. I mean, they're not a great team now, but I think Ron Francis can build a team for the future there. I think he's got some good pieces. And then Matty Beniers, I think the second overall pick last year, they're going to get another top 5 pick most likely this year. They're going to be able to build for the future there. Pittsburgh's been awesome this year, Jim. Absolutely. All right, we are back. Second period has begun. Capitals bring it into the offensive zone. 2-2 game. Caps scored the first 2. Bruins scored the last 2. We'll see what each of these teams are able to do now in the second period. As this one is moved and deflected away. Marchand trying to clear it out. Gets knocked down, though. Second chance. Bruins finally get it to neutral ice. Up now, Marchand into the offensive zone. Tries to cut to the middle. Backhand just goes high and wide. Gets the puck back off the end board. Plays it to Grzelcyk with it. He tries to get a shot as he's falling down. It's blocked and cleared back out to the neutral zone. Into the offensive zone. Now here's Taylor Hall. He rips a shot off that's sent wide. That rims off glass and all the way back around. Played through the middle now. Bruins trying to bring it back. Deflected away. Good play there from Kuznetsov. Taken now. Moved up here into the offensive zone. Taylor Hall with it. Back now to the point. Played D to D. John Moore out high. Top of the circle. Nice save there by Fucale through traffic. TJ Oshie takes the puck and carries it out of the zone. Washington back the other way into the Boston end. They'll go on the forecheck. Moore going back to get it. Rims it up the wall. Carlson pinches to keep it in. Washington looking to get set up now. Cycling around in the attacking end. Sent out in front. Omark has to make a nice pad save. And he'll cover that one up. 18:20 to go in the second. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Capitals. Man, Hall just ripped that one wide, high glove side, and then coming back down the other way. Actually, that was good defense by John Moore. Ovechkin wasn't able to really get a clean chance in front there because Moore had him covered pretty well. And then Omark ended up just having to stick the pad out on that one. That could have been a lot more dangerous if Moore wasn't there. But still, solid pad positioning there from Omark. Played down now, taken Oscar Steen. Can't get that out. It's taken back by Washington. Played around, kept in. Faheravari with it. Bruins take it though. Mike Riley can't get it out of the zone. Capitals keep it in. Here's Backstrom. He's getting pressured. Passes it back for Faheravari, and that's again off the pad. Nice pad stop from Ullmark, and the Bruins will clear this time as they get it to the red line and dump it into the Washington zone. However, no, they did not get to the red line, and that's going to be icing, meaning that this tired group for Boston is stuck out on the ice. There'll be another offensive zone faceoff coming up here for Washington. And the Bruins, with this line stuck on the ice, they're going to want to get possession right off the draw here. Otherwise, Washington could really get some chances. And this second period is so far going similar to the first, kind of, where Capitals have come out strong. And, in the first period, the Capitals, the first 10 minutes were really all Caps, and then the Bruins came back in the latter half. Looks like this period could be headed towards that same way, but here's Boston now finally trying to get it, but can't maintain possession. Back out Grzelcyk, right back in for the Bruins. High slot, and he scores! Holy cow, Matty Grzelcyk rips one from the high slot and beats Fucale glove side. It's a 3-2 lead for the Bruins. just under 3 minutes in, and now we have some deviation from how the first period went. As the Bruins score the first goal of period number 2, Matty Grzelcyk just walks in and rips one from the high slot. It looks like he caught Fucale a little off guard there. He didn't expect that shot and just got beat glove side. And there's a big goal there for Boston as they take the first lead of this game. Their first time in front of this one, and that's that might change things a little bit here as the Bruins try and bring it right back in, but Marchand has it stolen away. Capitals come back now to the Boston zone. Spencer, what's going on? Welcome in. Mary, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Beast TikTok, what's going on? Welcome as Fucale grabs that one up. And that's going to be an offensive zone now. 16:36 to go in the second. That was a great shot, Xanafied. I was not expecting that. Grzelcyk just from the high slot and definitely caught me off guard and caught the goaltender off guard as well. All right, offensive zone draw now for the Bruins. And they're able to win that one back. Setting up in the attacking end. Vakanainen brings it down to the corner. Lazar in there as well. Couple of Caps trying to work it out. And the puck ends up squirting behind the net. Capitals take it. They'll start the breakout. Cleared up now through the neutral zone. Back the other way. Capitals regrouping in their own end. Getting possession here and back up through the neutral zone. Dumped back down now. Puck in the corner, played around. Capitals trying to clear. Bruins take it. Here's Anton Bleed, dumping it back down deep. Carson Kuhlman with it down low. Takes a big hit there from Irwin. Now Schultz comes in trying to get the puck out. And the Capitals, Kuznetsov with it. Passes it back to Schultz. Caps kind of stuck back in their own zone here, but they're not giving the Bruins chances. They're just having trouble getting it out. As that one comes back up over to the sidewall and finally out to the neutral zone. And right back into the Washington end. Bruins doing a good job clogging up their escape routes here. And now Boston will play it. And that one's sent right back out to the neutral zone. Caps do a good job there. Boston's going to get back on side. Carlo dumps it in. 15:20 to go in the period. Played down low. Haula behind the net. Dan, what is going on? Welcome in. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Really, really appreciate it. Great to see you in the chat. That one's played up by McAvoy. Taylor Hall now backhands it in. Bruins head off for a line change. John Carlson plays it for Washington. 5 minutes into the second period. Boston with a 3-2 lead. Played down behind Allmark all the way around. Protis goes in to get it. Capitals cycling now in the offensive zone. Out high, Carlson's blast gets blocked. Kept in by Fehervari, though. Tom Wilson tries to chop at that one, but the Bruins are able to move it up and they clear the zone. Back to neutral ice. Caps get possession. They'll regroup. Dumped back to the Boston blue line where McAvoy goes D to D. Up now to Marchand, who backhands it in and backhanded right back out by the Capitals. Here's Tom Wilson now trying to go short side, rips that one high over the net, rims around the glass and all the way back to the Washington zone where Nick Jensen will regroup with Charlie Coyle chasing. Moved up now, Jensen with some speed, passes up to Eller into the offensive zone, back to Jensen, it's poked away. Good defense there from the Bruins, and it gets past McMichael at the blue line and back out. Taken now by Jensen. Works up to Eller into the offensive zone for Sprong. Sprong with a pass in front. Nobody there, though, for Washington, and Frederick will clear it out for the Bruins. Over the red line now, John Moore jumping up into the play. Dumps it down deep behind Fucale. Played there by Van Riemsdyk. Bruins come in trying to steal it, though. Good forechecking pressure. Back up the wall. Carlo, long shot, and Fucale with Lazar in front. Able to find that puck, and he covers it up. With 13:34 to go here in period number 2, the Bruins have taken a 1-goal lead on a great shot from Matt Grzelcyk. That's the only scoring so far in the second. It's 3-2 Boston with about 13 and a half minutes remaining as we head to our first commercial break. 13:34 to go, second period, and a 3-2 game here. This has been a heck of a hockey game between the Bruins and the Capitals. Commercial break. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. Would mean a lot if you guys could hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of all teams are welcome and wanted here. Really, really appreciate all the support tonight. We're just trying to grow a community where everyone can come together and enjoy the sport of hockey and hopefully have a lot of fun. I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule in the chat. I only know the rest of this week. I'll be streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the rest of this week. And you guys can see now in the chat which games I am doing. And we got some pretty good matchups. So really, really appreciate all the support, guys. It really does mean a lot. It allows me to continue doing this. So thank you guys so much. It has been a great game so far, certainly. This has been fun hockey to watch. It hasn't been overly physical, which sometimes, you know, these teams definitely have that animosity. It hasn't been an overly physical game, but just the back and forth scoring has been so much fun to watch. And goaltenders have made some big saves as well, so that's been a lot of fun. Donna, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Great to see you in the chat as always. Really, really appreciate it. All right, Sharik, I definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, exactly, Isaac. The Bruins Lightning game wasn't overly physical either. And sometimes that's a matchup as well that has that rivalry feel to it. It really, you know, didn't have that animosity, but the Bruins Wild game did big time. Yeah, well, Jim, I mean, still a lot of hockey left to be played in this one, and the Capitals certainly have an offense that is capable of coming back in this. So this game's got a lot left to be decided. It's been a really fun one so far. Bubsy, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. As Hall is going to take this face-off against Dowd. And the Bruins win that one back. They go D to D. Riley to Carlo. Played around now. Capitals trying to work it out. Carlson backhands it up. Carlo keeps it in. Long shot goes wide. Played around now. Moved up. Capitals are going to start the breakout. They bring it through the neutral zone and dumped into the offensive end. Here comes Garnet Hathaway on the forecheck. Poked by him. Back out now. Caps keep it in. Carlson out high. Long shot. Blocker saved by Ullmark. That goes up into the crowd. And no, it hits the netting. Could not actually get to the crowd. And we'll get a whistle here as that puck goes out of play. It will be an offensive zone faceoff for Washington. 12:57 now remaining here in the second period. Shots are 15-14 in favor of the Bruins. They lead by 1 on the scoreboard as well, up 3-2 in this game. Been a really, really fun one between the Bruins and the Caps so far. Can't wait to see how the rest of this goes. As here's Kuznetsov. They got the goaltender down and out, but he can't put it in. What an opportunity there for the Capitals. But Kuznetsov couldn't get it through the traffic. And ends up wide behind the net, and the Bruins can clear. I don't think that was Ullmark with the save. I think one of the Bruins got back and blocked that, but I have to see a replay to know for sure. But that was a massive opportunity there for Washington, and Kuznetsov couldn't put it home. Caps have to bring it back up through the neutral zone now. It's knocked down in front of the bench. Bruins take it into the offensive end. Here comes Boston. Trying to spin that one around, and they score! Craig Smith makes it 4-2, and the Bruins take a 2-goal lead. And they've scored 4 straight goals now against the Capitals as they get the double-digit lead over Washington with 12:07 to go. Craig Smith is on the score sheet. Patrice Bergeron made the save. Down at the other end, Patrice Bergeron made the save when Ullmark was down and out. And then they come back down to the offensive end of the ice, and Craig Smith is able to get a great pass off in the face-off circle, a little bit to the side of the near post, and he rips it glove side before Fucale can get over. And it is a 4-2 game, and Zach Fucale is being pulled. Great pass to Smith off to the side of the goal there in the face-off circle and rips it glove side. And now we have a goaltending change for Washington as Vitek Vanacek comes in for the Capitals. And Vitek Vanacek is your new goaltender now for Washington as Fucale comes out. And he had great numbers this season in the two games that he played previously. But those numbers are definitely taking a hit tonight for Fucale. And now Vanacek is taking over. And we'll see what he's able to do now. And just holding down the fort to see if Washington can get back in this one. All right, Cap. See you later. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. It is the skate of Luongo, Ghost. Yes. Holy, that's a great way to put it. Is it? It might be. It might be trial. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it very well could be. Capitals now in the Boston zone, trying to get this one back. Long shot there. Ullmark makes the save. Working around now, 11:35 to go in the second period. Pass over for Schultz. He sends it back the other way, and it goes to the corner. Wilson throws that one into the traffic in front. It's stolen away by the Bruins, and they'll clear it out. Right back, though, into the Boston zone as Washington sends it back in. Bruins clear it out again. Yeah, I don't remember any others off the top of my head, Trial, so it might be. As that one, Wilson trying to feather it through, not able to. Bruins come back. Here's Taylor Hall, 2-on-1, speed into the offensive zone. Pass over, and the Bruins score again! It's 5-2 as David Pastrnak scores his second goal of the game on a beautiful assist from Taylor Hall. And the Bruins go up by 3, and they've scored 5 straight goals. Holy cow! God, I need a drink here. Holy cow. This, something's different in the new year. Like, after that calendar change and Boston came back from the 16-day break without a game, something is like the Bruins flipped a switch or something in 2022. This looks like a totally different team than the one that started the season. Andrew, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Jack, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it as we tick down towards the halfway point of this game. Bruins dump it back in. You did, D-Wade. You did. You were correct. Pasta did score again. BC4F, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Long shot there from Van Riemsdyk goes high and wide. We have just hit the 10-minute mark of the second period. We're halfway through this game. Boston has a 5-2 lead now on the Capitals. Believe it or not, Washington led this game 2-0. Back in the first period, Washington led this game 2-0. Boston has scored 5 straight goals. I was not expecting this kind of comeback from the Bruins. I did think that the Bruins could come back, but I thought like maybe one, like make it 3-2 or something, or 2-2. I was not expecting 5-2. Hathaway landed a really big hit on Mike Riley, but it was a great hit, perfectly clean. Riley's back up and passes it D to D. Through the neutral zone now, Boston dumps it back in. Back after it now. Kuhlman on the forecheck. Caps trying to work it out of their zone. 9:08 to go here in the second. DMV, what's going on? Welcome in. Barry, what's going on? Welcome. Capitals trying to bring it in. High slot now. Ripped just wide there. I don't think Ullmark got a piece of that. I think they just missed that one wide. Blocker side. Carlson's shot gets blocked by Kuhlman. Bruins can't clear it out, though. Good job there by Fehervari. Keeping it in. Trying to play it around. Moved up now. Bruins clear. And that goes up into the bench area. We're going to get a whistle with 8:37 to go in the second period. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off, I believe, coming up. But we're going to have a commercial break. We're going to have a commercial break first with about 8.5 to go here in this second period. And Boston with a huge, huge comeback in this one. Now up 5-2. JJ, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Great to have you in the chat from Walpole. We Mass represent. Thank you so much for being here. Great to have you. As always, really appreciate you stopping by. What a game we've got going on tonight. And I will say I was not expecting this. Certainly not. And little more high scoring than I was. I thought this would probably end like a 3-2, 4-2 type of game, maybe 4-3, but 5-2, and we're only in the second period. Digital Life, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much. Caroline, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I thought so too, Trial. I thought it would be closer than a 3-goal game. Absolutely. Hey, Ice Coast. That's awesome. Van Riemsdyk has a house right next to yours. That is absolutely awesome. Hey, thank you so much, JJ. Glad you enjoy the streams. Really, really appreciate it. All right, see you later, Jim. Thank you so much for stopping by. Great to have you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Xanify. That's like my one big question with the Washington Capitals, especially come playoff time, is do they have a goaltender that can really lock it down in the playoffs? And I don't know, that's my question with the Capitals. I am a little worried about their goaltending. You know, if they're in a playoff series against a very good goaltender who's only given up, you know, maybe 2, maybe 3 a night, are the Capitals going to be able to limit their opponents to only 1 or 2 goals a night? Taken now, Washington dumps it in as we're back from commercial break. John Moore takes a hit there. Washington starting to get a little bit more physical now, down by 3. We had the big hit from Hathaway earlier. That was a good hit there on Moore on the forecheck. Like, Washington's starting to, this hasn't been an overly physical game, but Washington's starting to pick up the physicality here, trying to turn the tides a little bit. Yeah, Marchand got hit with a stick earlier, Bubsy, back in the first period, and it completely opened up the bridge of his nose. As Frederick throws that one in on Vanacek, who gloves it, and we'll get a whistle here with 7:46 to go. Ozone draw coming up now for Boston here in the Washington end. Yeah, honestly, Vernon, it's starting to look like it. It's funny because Boston actually has Montreal on Wednesday night, so we'll see who looks better, Washington or Montreal Wednesday. That's a great question, John. I would have to go to NHL.com to check that. Boston started out the year very good at home, but I feel like they've been playing better on the road lately. Well, it's actually exactly tied, John. They have 9 wins at home and 9 wins on the road. Now, they will have more wins on the road if they win tonight, because obviously tonight's game hasn't gone final and isn't included in that. So this would be their 10th road win of the season if they hold on to this win, this lead, and then they would have more wins on the road. Hi, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, Bruins beat the Lightning 5-2, and that not used to that either. That's another team that Boston struggled with recently over the last couple of years, and they were able to win that game as well. As that one almost turned over there. Boston, that would have been a brutal turnover, but they are able to get back defensively and break it up. This game is in Washington. Ice Coast. Bruins are at home against Montreal, though, on Wednesday. That is at the Garden in Boston. Yeah, that was a huge comeback win, Dan. Absolutely is. Haula rips one, and he scores! Holy cow, Eric Haula! Another assist for Taylor Hall as Haula rips one glove side on Vanacek and just puts it inside the post. And with 6:51 to go here in the second, it is 6-2. 6-2 Boston. What is going on here with the Capitals? Man, I've been like talking up Washington recently too about how good of a season they're having. I did the interview with Alex the other day about the Capitals and what a great year they've had so far. I don't recognize this Capitals team. They look completely overwhelmed right now. Cameron, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Washington looks completely overwhelmed right now, and their goaltending, they're just getting beat on like almost every clean shot that the Bruins get off. They're getting beat. So the goaltending certainly isn't helping, but the Capitals are, I don't know, this is not the Washington team that I'm used to seeing. This is closer to the Washington team that we saw in the first round of the playoffs last year. Pastrnak going for the Hattie. Just ripped that one high. No, you are allowed to swear in the chat. You can say whatever you want. As Washington gets one back, Alexander Ovechkin throws it in front. And I don't know if that went right through from Ovechkin or if Oshie who was on the doorstep might have got a tip on that. I think it might be Ovechkin. But Washington gets one back. And let's see, Ovechkin top of the circle. No, that's tipped off Oshie. That tips off of TJ Oshie. It's a 6-3 game as Washington gets one back. And now it's 6-3. Well, I hope everybody had the over in this game. Or I hope nobody, at least nobody bet the under, because this under is long gone. But 9 goals already in this one, and we are only in the second period. And it is now back to a 3-goal lead for the Bruins with 5.5 to go in the second period. Camera keeps unfocusing. It's really ticking me off. Taken now back, played by the Capitals in their own zone. And this one now caps back in on the forecheck. Played behind the net by Eller. Out to the point. Carlson goes D to D. Faravari rips that one. And that's stopped and the Bruins clear. Bleed dumps it in. Line change coming. Played down behind the net now. Under 5 minutes to go in the second period. Capitals back up into the offensive zone. Trying to get another one here before the intermission. Long shot in, and Ullmark trying to find that one, but he does have it. And he squeezes it between the arm and his side. 4:41 now to go, and we're going to head to the final commercial break. And that is going to bring us now to a commercial stoppage. It'll be an offensive zone face-off coming up for the Capitals. When we come back, we're under 5 minutes to go in period number 2. Boston has a 6-3 lead over the Washington Capitals in what has been a very high-scoring game so far. We're still only in the second period. But, welcome in, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. See you later, Andrew. Thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody. Thank you all so much. Please don't forget that like and thumbs up. It helps out so much and is greatly appreciated. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. Just trying to grow a channel where everyone can enjoy hockey and have fun. It does look like a baseball score, Vernon. It does. 6-3. And we still have a whole period to go. This one could get pretty high scoring. Be pretty funny if we ended up with, like 13 or 14 total goals in this one. We don't see a lot of games get to that level, but tonight definitely has a chance. Or what's going to happen is the exact opposite of that. And, we're going to go to the intermission 6-3, and just nobody's going to score in the third period. It's going to end 6-3. I feel like it's either going to end up with, 14 total goals, or it's just going to, stay how it is now and just not have any more goals. There's going to be one extreme or the other. Jeff, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I don't know, Sharik. That's actually a great question. The highest goals ever scored in a hockey game. Played through the middle now. Taken here. Oshie throws it into the offensive zone. Backhanded in there by Ovechkin, and Olmark's going to cover it up. And we'll get a whistle here. Offensive zone faceoff coming up again for Washington. Wow, Grzelcyk's on a 4-point night tonight. Matt Grzelcyk has a goal and 3 assists in this game. This is the kind of offensive game that he needed to have. Kept in now. Bruins coming back the other way. They clear the zone. Moving up ice. Boston into the offensive end. Bergeron with a shot. Nice pad save there by Vanacek. Capitals get some speed now coming back the other way. Washington into the offensive zone. Shot in there. Ullmark makes the glove save. Now a couple of players go flying into the net, but the Bruins get the puck out. They loft it back out to the neutral zone. 3:45 now to go in the second period. Bergeron with a good hit there on Jensen. Highest scoring game was 14-9 in 1920. Thank you, High, for looking that up. That's a wild score right there. Capitals now trying to work it out of their own zone. Not able to. Grzelcyk keeps it in. Van Riemsdyk will get another opportunity. And he'll just loft it into the Boston end. Played now by Grizz. 3:15 left in the period. Played now. Boston looking to work it out. This one goes up. Move to the middle. Taken away, though, by Schultz. Good play there for the Capitals. Bruins have to regroup again. Lofted over here, and that one's going to go out of play. So we'll get a whistle with 2:55 to go. And a neutral zone draw coming up here after Boston throws that one over the glass. Believe that it was from the neutral zone, so it won't be delay a game. And we're getting down to the final couple minutes here of the second period. We'll see if Washington can get another one back before the intermission, or if this goes to the break, a 3-goal game. Jacob, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Oh, that actually probably should have been delay a game. Pastrnak was right at the blue line when he flipped that one out. And that puck, that came kind of from behind the blue line. Honestly, that probably should have been delay a game against the Bruins. Looks like they're saying it was from the neutral zone, but that was very, very close. That was like right at the blue line where he flipped that out. Peter Laviolette is not happy, and I can 100% understand why. It looked like he flipped that puck from his own end before he got out to the neutral zone. That was very, very close. But either way, it's still 5-on-5. And that one is cleared back out. Taken here. Down in the corner, passed in front. Only Bruins there. And that one gets moved out. Taken here by Bleed. And he gets hit. And the Capitals now back in their own zone will take possession. 2:17 to go in the second period. Moved up into the offensive end. Taken here by Carlo. And that one gets moved. That's going to be icing as it goes through the neutral zone. Nobody touches it. All the way back behind the goal line, and it will be icing against Boston with 2:08 left in the period. Another ozone draw coming up here for Washington, who's still down by 3 late stages of period 2. One back now. Bruins in the defensive zone. They backhand that one up. Not able to get it out. Washington keeps it in. Good play here by Jensen pinching to Ovechkin down low behind the net, trying to come away with the puck. Stolen away by Charlie Coyle. And the Bruins now will get it out to the neutral zone. Taken right back, though, by the Capitals. They bring it in. Kuznetsov tries to get around the D, passes back, and a nice glove save there from Ullmark on Van Riemsdyk. 1:39 to go in the second. It will be gloved there by Ullmark as he covers it. And we'll have another offensive zone faceoff for the Capitals, who are pushing for another goal before the end of this period and make it a 2-goal game. Holla to take the draw now in the defensive zone. One back, though, by the Capitals as they set up in the attacking end. Another long shot. That one deflects wide. Pastrnak back into his own zone for McAvoy. McAvoy gets pressured. Puck stolen. Chance out in front. Wilson can't get it by Ullmark. Cycling now. Down low. Played to protest. Backstrom out there as well. Big scrum behind the net. Both teams have a couple guys there looking to dig this puck out. Now 3 guys involved. Holla comes away with it for the Bruins. And that one, Pastrnak finally able to chip it out to the neutral zone. Grzelcyk takes it back. Boston has possession. Andrew, what's going on? Welcome in. Here's David Pastrnak into the offensive zone. His shot gets blocked. Hall misses on the rebound chance, but gets it back. Pass out high for Riley. Rips one in there. And Vanacek has to come over to make the save. 49 seconds to go in the second period. And Boston flipped the ice. It will be an ozone draw now for the Bruins as Vanacek covers that one. Welcome in, Andrew. Thank you so much for watching. Great to have you here. Really, really appreciate it. We've got a fantastic one going. Very interesting game. Back and forth game here. Capitals got out to a 2-0 lead. Boston scored 6 straight goals and went up 6-2. And now Washington's made it 6-3 and is trying to come back. It's been a wild affair here down in Washington in this one. Played now by Carlson in his own end. Bergeron trying to poke the puck away. Capitals trying to clear it out. Good job here in the defensive zone. They're going to chip it off glass and get it out all the way back. And that one goes out of play, though. And it is going to come back now, I think, to the Washington end with 21.6 remaining. Yes, Vernon, Vanacek did make a save. A pretty decent one, too, there on that Riley shot. Yeah, the new year has been very, very good for the Bruins, Andrew. Once that calendar turned to 2022, they've looked like a completely different team than they did in the first couple months of the season. Very different team since the new year. I don't know. It's like they flipped a switch or something. So they move up now. They actually beat the Lightning, which they almost never do. Now they're trying to beat the Capitals on the road, which is another thing that they don't do all that often. It's been interesting to watch as that one is taken away, and that is going to do it as the horn sounds. End of the second period as we head to the intermission. And Boston will take a 3-goal lead into the third as they are up 6-3 through 40 minutes of play. We got intermission now, a chance to hang out and just chill in the chat while we wait for the third to begin. And then we'll find out in the final 20 minutes if the Bruins are able to hang on or if the Capitals have a big comeback in them. But we got 20 minutes left in this one, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It helps out so much and is really does mean a lot. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. Javen, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, a lot of goals again in that period. We had a lot of goals in the first period and a lot of goals in that period as well. As it's been a high-scoring affair here between the Bruins and the Caps on this lovely Monday night. And we'll see what the final 20 minutes brings us. Again, I feel like it's going to be one extreme or the other. Like, we're going to get another, 5 or 6 goals in this game, or I feel like we're going to get, no more goals in this game. Like, it's going to be one extreme or the other. Absolutely. I streamed every game of the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Hi. I stream pretty much every day in the playoffs with an occasional day off here or there, but pretty much every single day in the playoffs. The changing of the lines have been phenomenal. Boston's offense has exploded with the changing of the lines. And Craig Smith going up to play with Bergeron and Marchand. Pastrnak playing with Haula and Hall those two lines have been phenomenal. The secondary scorers have all picked it up. Lazar, Frederick, Nosek before he was on the COVID list, when he was healthy, was playing really well. Guys like Bleed and Kuhlman for this game, and who am I missing? There's one. Steen have played really, really well. Like this looks like a new team with these new lines. And, I mean, everybody is chipping in. All 4 lines for the Bruins are contributing offensively, which is something that Boston has not really had. You know, they've had to rely so much on that top line for really the last few years. Finally, to see this kind of balanced scoring, we'll just see if it can keep up. That's the big question. Is this just kind of a flash in the pan type thing for a couple of weeks, or is this something that's going to keep up long term? I really hope it keeps up long term. Steen's looked great trial. High energy player with some good offensive instincts. I like Steen a lot. What do I do in the off season? Well, I still put out a bunch of videos in the off season. I don't stream nearly as much because obviously it's the off season and I need a break. And I pretty much work and hang out with my friends, and it's a little less busy in the off season than during when hockey's actually being played, obviously, but I still do a bunch of videos and stuff to keep the channel rolling, so it's not like I completely disappear for 2 months or anything. Like, there's always going to be content coming out. Motivational speech in the Caps locker room. This is gonna sound as cliche as ever, but I think if you're the Caps here, you got to be thinking just 1 goal at a time. You're not gonna come back from a 3-goal deficit in a minute. Like, you're not gonna. You don't need to go out and try and complete the comeback with 1 goal. Like, you don't have to win this game in the first 5 minutes of the third. Like, you've just got to get 1 goal at a time. So if I'm Washington, I'm breaking this third period up into 4 5-minute segments. And I'm saying I want a goal in the first 5 minutes, I want a goal in the second 5 minutes, and I want a goal in the third 5 minutes. And I want to break this period up and just see if we can tie the game and then go from there. And if we can get it back tied, if we're the Capitals, you know, whether we try and win it late in the third or if it goes to overtime or whatever, at least we have a tie here. Like, you got to break this period up, and if I'm the coach, I'm just telling them to take it one goal at a time and see what we can do. We got to push offensively, and they really can't afford to give up another goal. Like, if Boston gets to 7, I think Boston probably wins this game. Slick Nick, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. Great to have you in the chat. Yeah, I like those videos too, D-Wade. I'm gonna try and do those at least once a month. Maybe some months I'll get 2 in. You know, February is kind of a shorter month, so maybe not. But I like those a lot, and it gets you guys involved too. You know, where I'm answering your questions, and it's participatory, where like you guys are involved in it as well and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep doing those videos. What if the Bruins won 10-3? I mean, it's not an impossibility. It's not an impossibility because obviously it's 6-3 right now. I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly don't think Boston scores 10 tonight, but I also think the Capitals might be able to make it a little bit closer. Like this game might end up like 7-5 or something like that. Pastrnak is back, Avi. Pastrnak is, I mean, the way he's played since the new year has turned, he's looked awesome. 4 goals in 4 games for David, or actually no, now 5. He has 2 tonight, so 5 goals in David Pastrnak's last 4 games. So he's really looking like the old Pasta since coming back from the break. He's looked awesome, and that new line with him, Holla, and Hall have been incredible. And it's really gotten Eric Holla going as well, who's a guy that Boston needed to get going because he was very slow to start the season. And Boston needed more offense out of him, and they're getting more offense out of him now. I mean, it's tough to say at this point for prediction. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say the Bruins score 1 more. I'm gonna say 7-5 Bruins. I think the Bruins score 1 more, and Washington's probably able to get. They're gonna push hard at the end. They might be able to make it a little bit closer and get a couple, but I do think the Bruins hold on for the win. But 20 minutes is a lot of hockey. And we've seen 3-goal deficits erased before in the NHL. It's certainly not an impossibility for Washington. And they've got a high-powered offense themselves. So it's not like this game is over. It's not like we're at an 8-1 game right now or something like that. This game's not over. Washington, again, if they get an early goal, that makes things a lot closer and a lot tighter here if they can get an early goal in the third. Oh, yeah, very much so, Jack. I actually kind of liked Frank Vatrano. He wasn't the most popular player here in Boston because he was very streaky, and he really just kind of had his shot, and like that was what he did. He just shot the puck, and that was pretty much it. But I liked Vatrano. He also played at UMass Amherst, so Vatrano was, a UMass Amherst alum. So anybody that kind of went to one of the local Hockey East schools and then played for the Bruins, for the most part, is popular, except for Ryan Donato. He's the one that I could not stand. But I liked Vatrano, and it's good to see him playing well with Florida and continuing his career with the Panthers. Goalhorn King, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Will Ovechkin score in the third? He got an assist on Oshie's goal, which made it 6-3. So maybe Ovi gets one in the third. Yes, Ryan Donato now plays in Seattle, and I still don't like him there. I don't think I'll ever like Ryan Donato as a player personally. Just his game is not my style of game, to say the least. Yeah, D Wade, that's the goal. Always the goal, to just keep growing every week. And that's what we're hoping for, is more new subs, the channel getting bigger, the community getting bigger, and just keep the channel growing as this NHL season continues. Obviously, big push now. 10K is going to be a major milestone, and hopefully we're able to get there. Hopefully we're able to get there sooner rather than later. I'd like to get to 10K, at least by the end of this NHL season. But that's still a long way to go. So we got to keep the channel growing for sure. Keep the streams rolling. Worst goal I've seen a goalie allow. I don't remember exactly, because any of these goals from like the neutral zone, which I've seen happen a couple times, obviously doesn't happen very often, but where goaltenders have been caught off guard, or the puck is bounced on a long dump in or a long shot from like out by the red line, and it like bounces on the ice right in front of the goalie and hops over his shoulder or something. Any of those kinds of goals, they are very funny when they happen, and definitely ones that the goaltenders like to have back. See, that's a recent thing, Goalhorn King. But Washington absolutely dominated the Bruins for a long time. From like 2012 through up until last season, Washington dominated Boston. But then last year, Boston started beating Washington, and now it looks like that might be carrying over a little bit into this season. Hey, Sal, what's going on? Welcome in. Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball's in here. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you guys like basketball, he does college and NBA. Awesome streams on his channel. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Marc-Andre Fleury giveaways also were some pretty rough ones, Jack. That one in the against Montreal in the semifinal last year was pretty brutal. Lee, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, those are always bad, Jeff. When the goalie comes out and gives the puck away, and then they're stuck behind the net while the team's scoring in the open goal. Like, those are always brutal to watch, too. Those are really bad. Hey, Lee. That is awesome, man. John is, one of my best YouTube friends. Love HTH. Thank you so much for stopping in, man. Really, really appreciate it. It's great to see you in the chat. Thank you so much. And yeah, John's got an awesome, awesome channel. One of the kings for sure of hockey YouTube. Hey, AceofSpades. Thank you so much for subscribing. Really, really, really appreciate it. Can we get some new sub hype in the chat for AceofSpades, new subscriber to the channel? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I agree, Jack. I think goaltenders should really stay in the net a little bit more than they do. I'm not a huge fan of goaltenders playing the puck often, because I think a lot of them are very bad at it, and it just leads to a lot of turnovers. I did say that, Vernon, because Gerry had an awful turnover in overtime in one of the first round games against the Islanders. I think it was to Beauvillier, and Beauvillier scored the game-winning goal in OT because Gerry just gave him the puck. So that was another brutal goal to watch. That was like one where you're just shaking your head. Tuukka is bad at playing the puck, Jack. Yes, he's brutal playing the puck. Another goaltender that should just stay in his net for sure. All right. I apologize if I missed anything in the chat, guys. We've had a lot of people here tonight, a lot of people in the chat chatting, a lot of people watching, big viewers here. So really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys for all tuning in tonight. I hope you're enjoying the stream, and it's been a fun game. Obviously, very high scoring, a lot going on, and we still got a whole period to go, so a lot of action left. Yeah, it was game 5. It was Bailey. It wasn't Pavilier. It was Bailey. That's right, Jack. Thank you for reminding me. All the games kind of run together in my head because there's just so many, and I forget like who exactly it was, but it was Gerry passing the puck straight to Bailey in overtime, and the Islanders winning that game. Eddie, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Yes, Jack. Fleury's giveaway was brutal in that semifinal game behind the net. It was just like, dude, what are you doing? Remember? And then Leonard played the game after. Like, they literally took Fleury out, and Leonard played the game after, and Vegas still couldn't make it to the finals. Yeah, Jimmy Howard played at UMaine. Now Swayman's from UMaine. Maine's put some good goaltenders into the NHL trial. Do I think the Bruins can score 10 goals? So they need 4 in the third period for that to happen. Is it possible? Yes. Do I think they're going to get 10? No. I think Boston probably finishes with like 7, maybe 8. I think they only score like 1 or 2 in this period, but it's possible, sure, but I wouldn't bet on it happening. Yeah, Ben Bishop, another Maine goaltender. They've put some really good goalies out. Absolutely. That's a good school for goaltending. All right, we're getting ready for the start of the third. We're going to have a puck drop coming up here pretty soon. Third period, 20 minutes to go. Boston with a 3-goal lead. So we can see either the Bruins hold this lead or epically collapse and Washington have a massive comeback win. We've got 20 minutes to find out. We'll see what happens. Oh, really, Eddie? That is awesome. That is awesome. D. Wade says, if the Bruins score 10, I'll send a 50 dono this weekend. Holy cow, that'd be a big dono. Well, let's see if Boston can get to 10. Yeah, plump bagel. I would not be surprised by that. Again, I was saying earlier, I think this is going to go one extreme or the other in the third period. I think the third is either going to have like another like 5 goals or something ridiculous like that, or there's going to be like 1 goal, maybe no goals in the third, and there's just not going to be a lot more scoring. I feel like it's going to go one extreme or the other. MN Hockey Girl, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, you're right. See, I forgot to update the ticker. My apologies, guys. Seattle and Colorado, 9 o'clock. They should be dropping the puck any moment there. So that game will be underway. Thank you so much for being here, MN Hockey Girl. Welcome into the stream. And we're getting ready for puck drop in the third. The teams are lined up at neutral ice, about to get going. I would love to see the NHL get rid of the trapezoid Bruin. I've never liked the trapezoid. I think it's funny when goalies come out and play the puck, and I think that would make the game more chaotic if goaltenders were out of their net playing the puck more. So I hate the trapezoid personally. I'd love to see that more chaos in the game, and getting rid of the trapezoid would lead to more goalies out of the net, and more goalies out of the net would lead to more chaos. All right, we are underway now. Third period has begun. Boston dumps it into the offensive zone. Capitals take it now. It's Carlson looking to start the breakout. Passes that one up, neutral ice. Trying to bring it in, backhanded, onside. Caps go in on the forecheck. They've got the Dowd line starting this third period. So again, looking to bring some physicality as Smith beats out the icing on that one. Bruins in on the forecheck. Craig Smith trying to get it through to Marchand, but it's just off his stick, and the Capitals come back the other way. Played around now, moved up. Backhanded through, Pastrnak now up, and McAvoy will dump it in. Barry, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Says Bruins good for 2 more. Maybe we get an 8 tonight. We'll see. Boston's in the offensive zone now. Pastrnak is looking for a hattie. He's got 2 tonight. He's going to be looking to finish off that hattie in the third. We'll see if he can do it or not. Washington tries to clear it out. Bruins send it right back, but the Caps will regroup. Played up now. 18:35 to go now in the third. Dumped in now. Sent all the way around. Omar comes out behind the net, knocks that down with his stick, but then his pass goes over the defenseman's stick, but we get a stoppage here, and I'm not exactly sure what that stoppage was for. That was a weird one. They just kind of blew the play dead, and now they're setting up for a neutral zone draw. So something must have happened. I'm not exactly sure what that was there, but anyway, we're right back underway. Nobody's in the penalty box, so it wasn't a penalty. And the Bruins dump it into the offensive zone. Bleed going after on the forecheck against Irwin. Irwin takes a hit. Kuhlman comes in, lays a hit on Backstrom. Capitals still working the puck up, though, and they're able to get it out through the neutral zone. Backhanded in. Taken out now. Backhanded up. And that one gets sent through. Played here now by protest as the Capitals get it back in their own zone. Just over 2 minutes into this third period, they'll start the breakout. If I had to drop the Bruins and favor a Canadian team, do or die, who do you pick? Oh boy, if I have to favor a Canadian team. As that puck's back through the neutral zone, Bruins into the offensive zone. Cross ice here. Played down low, Taylor Hall. Honestly, I would probably go with the Winnipeg Jets, Xanafied. And I know they're not having a good year this year, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs, but ever since Winnipeg has come back into the league and Atlanta moved to Winnipeg, I've always had a big soft spot for the Jets. Whether the team's been good or bad, I've always kind of liked a lot of the players on their team as well, even when they weren't good. So I would probably have to say the Winnipeg Jets would be my pick for a Canadian team. Offensive zone draw coming up here for Washington. One back there. McAvoy sends it up the wall. Chipped out to the neutral zone. Van Riemsdyk will go back and get it. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, another UNH product, another Hockey East college player. All the Van Riemsdykes went to UNH, and here's Craig Smith now into the offensive zone, trying to get a pass through, but a sliding block there from Schultz. Jim, welcome back. Thank you so much for being back. Really appreciate it. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, Colorado is my Western Conference team in the NHL. I've loved Colorado since I was a little kid, since I was literally like 4 years old. But if I had to pick a Canadian team, I would be Winnipeg. I've just always had a soft spot for the Jets. Taken down now, played up here through the middle. Boston can't keep it in. Taken now by Pastrnak. He backhands it. And Haula goes back in on the forecheck here. Jensen takes it out, though, for Washington. They bring it up. Played into the middle there. And on a deflection, Ullmark makes a nice save. And Linus Ullmark will cover that one up. 15:44 to go here in the third period. And Frederic and Ovechkin had a good collision earlier. Kind of initiated by Ovechkin. And Freddie's not happy going to the bench. I wonder, did he get hurt on that? Because he was banging his stick. That one's one back. Washington right off the draw. That one's ripped high over the crossbar. Moved around, deflected up, and cleared out there by Anton Bleed. That's going to be icing, though, as it goes all the way back down behind the Washington net. 15.5. 15.5 to go in the third period. Still a 3-goal lead here for Boston, and Washington will have an offensive zone faceoff, trying to pull themselves back into this one. They need to find some offense here pretty quickly, down by 3. They definitely are going to need... They're definitely going to need a goal in the first 10 minutes of this third, because I don't think they're going to score 3 in 10 minutes. So they need a quick one here. And here's a wraparound chance. Patrice not able to get it all the way through. Trying to work it up. Kept in here. Capitals cycling. Bruins looking to work it out. Not able to. Grizzlick let that one get too far in front of him. Carlson keeps it in. Played down low behind the net. Back up now. Taken. Fehervari keeps it in. And now we're going to get a hand pass call. No doubleheader tonight. Hi. Next stream will be tomorrow night for the Avalanche against the Predators in what is going to end up being a massive Central Division game with those two teams. I mean, two very good teams in the Central, very close in the standings. Predators have been way better than I expected them to be this year. And we got Colorado and Nashville tomorrow night. That's going to be a really fun one. As this one's driven in, trying to find the puck, crashing the net there, Boston. But Caps are able to keep it out, and they come back the other way. Played now, here's Ovechkin, pass in front is stolen away. Mike Riley with a great defensive play there for the Bruins. And now Boston brings it back in, but they lose the puck at the blue line. Kuznetsov the other way into the Bruins zone. Colorado's gone up 1-0. Played now top of the circle, shot, and Omark makes a nice save there, and he'll cover it with 14:23 remaining. All right, so Colorado has gone up 1-0 on Seattle early in that one. Oh, yeah, those were legendary plump. Avs versus Red Wings back in the late 90s and early 2000s were legendary. Particularly the late 90s. I mean... that's as big of a rivalry as we've seen in the NHL. Boston wins the defensive zone faceoff, trying to break it out. Caps keep it in. Here's a chance now in by the faceoff dot, poked away though by the Bruins D. Good play there by John Moore. And Boston's able to clear it back out. The Capitals will have to regroup. Played up now with 14 minutes to go in the third. Into the offensive zone. Played around the corner now. Moved up, and that one gets dumped in. Ikeka, that should be a really good game, actually, because, my initial reaction says Rangers, but the Kings have been playing a lot better, like really, really well lately. So the Kings are definitely going to have a chance in that game. I might lean slightly Rangers, but that's going to be a close one. Taken now, stolen by David Pastrnak. Bruins trying to keep it in. And Washington able to get that back now out to the neutral zone. McMichael backhands it up ice. McAvoy plays it for Boston. 13:10 to go here in the third period. Over the red line into the offensive zone, Taylor Hall. Thrown in there. That one goes wide. Taken now. McMichael passes to Carlson in the middle. And the Capitals bring it into the Boston zone. Played down low behind the net. Worked here by Vakanainen. Up the wall. Bruins get it out. Pastrnak chips it to the middle. Lazar goes after it. In the corner. Trying to throw it in front. It goes off of McMichael getting back. Now here's Bleed. Pass into the middle. Gets stolen away. And the Caps clear. Daniel Sprong. Haven't really said his name much in this game. He hasn't been a factor. Flips the puck up and out of play, and we're going to get a whistle now with 12:35 to go. We're going to head to our first commercial break here of the third period. Boston still holding on to the 6-3 lead. No goals yet in the third, as we're down to about 12 and a half minutes remaining in this one. Really, really appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, it would mean a lot if you could hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL. Everybody is welcome here. Just trying to grow a community where everyone can come together and have fun and enjoy the sport of hockey. So thank you guys all so much for the support tonight. We got quite a game going. 6-3, Boston trying to hang on. Capitals trying to push some sort of comeback here, but they're going to have to find some more offense if they're going to do that. We'll see if they can get it to a 2-goal game here quickly. Yeah, McMichael's a very, very good young player, Plump. He's going to be great for the Capitals long term. Dropkick Murphy's fan, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I would imagine that that's what Peter Laviolette's press conference is going to be like, Vernon, yes. Yeah, that was an epic one, Xanified. That was an epic one. Thank you so much, MN Hockey Girl. Really, really appreciate the like. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we're coming back from commercial break now. Get ready for the face-off and getting back to the action. Tell you what, Linus Ullmark has given up 3 goals in this game, but he has made some monster saves as well. So again, you know, when you look at this statistically, he's given up 3 goals, which isn't terrible, but also isn't great. Save percentage is probably going to end up somewhere in the high 8s, most likely, maybe low 9s, depending on where what total shots Washington ends up with. But you're not going to look at this statistically as a great game for Linus Ullmark, but some of the saves, particularly in the first period when the Bruins were down, were game savers for him and for this Bruins team. Like, this could have easily been 4 or 5-0 Washington. He kept it 2-0 Washington, and then Boston was able to find their offense as the period went on. And this, I think, has been a very good performance for Ullmark, and he saved the Bruins early in this game and has allowed them to be in position to score all these goals as the game went along and take a lead themselves. Taken now. Bruins trying to clear it out. Under 12 minutes to go in the third. Gerry, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. Really, really, really appreciate it. Gonna work it now. Moved back out. Bruins keep it in. Back into the middle. Here's Marchand. Trying to get a pass out to the point. Doesn't connect it. Ends up going to Craig Smith on the far side. He throws that one in on a sharp angle. Vanacek holds the post and the Capitals clear it out. 11:25 to go in the third. Deflected back into the Washington zone. Marchand on the forecheck. Hey, Jens, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for watching all the way from Germany. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. Got about 11 minutes to go in this one. Boston takes it out of their zone. Up now through the middle of the ice. Eric Haula dumps it in. In behind. Played through the corner, though. Capitals looking to start the breakout. Here's Sherry. He's got 2 goals tonight for Washington. Both came back in the first period. Played up now. That one gets knocked down by Vakanainen. Oshie comes in on the forecheck. Back out here. Bruins trying to clear. Caps keep it in, but now Oshie's back pass goes to nobody, and it comes back out to the neutral zone. Caps have to regroup. 10:25 now remaining in the third period. And the Capitals ice the puck as nobody gets a stick on that. And Boston will have an offensive zone face-off coming up. And 1-1. Kraken tie it up. So Seattle ties the game against Colorado. That's a 1-1 game in the first period of that one. Seattle scores on the power play. Yeah, Colorado's penalty kill, if I remember correctly, is not great this year. When I was doing the special teams video, I'm pretty sure Colorado's penalty kill was not that good, like down in the 70s. I'm going to double check that to make sure. As Washington goes in on the forecheck here, but I'm pretty sure that Colorado's PK numbers were not spectacular this year. Yeah, no, they're only 73% on the penalty kill, so that could end up becoming a weakness for the Avalanche come playoff time. Only 73% is not good enough on the penalty kill. As we get this one stopped again by Ullmark, who makes another nice save through traffic and is able to get the whistle there with 9:40 to go. In the third, we're down under 10 minutes to go in this one. Boston still got the 6-3 lead. Again, like I said, I feel like one or the other extreme was going to happen here in the third as far as scoring. We haven't had a goal yet in the third period, and we're already halfway through it. And it is still a 6-3 game now with only 9:40 remaining as we head to a commercial break. Caps will have an offensive zone faceoff, though, when we come back. But Rob, thank you for being here. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I agree, Plump. I think Boston needs to add to the D-core. They're too thin on the back end. But if they were to add a defenseman, that could make them very, very dangerous. Because now the secondary scoring is going. So that if they add a D-man, a solid D-man, that could really make them dangerous in the East. Yes, Yanni Gourde's. I'm a huge fan of Yanni Gourde, Isaac. I remember watching him play in the AHL for Syracuse when he was in the Lightning's farm system with Syracuse in the AHL when they would play against Providence. I loved watching Gourde. I'm a big fan of his. Hall has been awesome of late. Ever since the Bruins mixed these lines all up at the new year, Hall has been one of the guys who's really benefited from that. Now he's playing with Pastrnak and Taylor Hall, and he's been so much better. Wes, what's going on? Welcome. Alan, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Boston could use a top 4 guy. Klingberg or Chychrun would definitely be a massive get if the Bruins can pull it off. Yeah, Suzuki is the Habs' top scorer, and he's 149th in the NHL. It's been a disaster of a season for Montreal. There's no doubt about that. And yes, Taylor Hall has gotten a ton of assists. Chris, what's going on? Welcome in. No, I want nothing to do with Chara at this point. He is awful now. Zdeno Chara at this point is absolutely horrid now. Cannot move, cannot skate. This is very clearly his last season. I don't even know how he's still in the Islanders lineup, honestly. I'd rather Chychrun over Klingberg as well, Trial, but Chychrun's going to be a lot more expensive. Chychrun is going to be a lot more expensive on the trade market because he's younger, and he's got a lot of term left on his contract. He's, I think, got 3 more years after this year. So you're going to have to give up a lot to get Jakob Chychrun. No, Chara now is a shell of his former self. Honestly, it's been really lousy to see, like, the decline of him, because Chara is one of my favorite all-time players. I loved him in Boston. Boston makes it a 7-3 game here. Looks like Marchand gets his second of the night, and Marshy makes it 7-3 Bruins, and that is pretty much definitely going to put this game away. But yeah, it sucks to see Chara decline the way that he has, but he's also, in his mid-40s now, so it's It's not exactly, you know, surprising, but he was so good for such a long time. All right, Boston gets 7. 7-3 lead now as Marchand chips that one by Vanacek in goal. And third period, Boston back up by 4. And we still got just under 9 minutes to go in this one. Marchand's second goal of the game. He and Pastrnak now are both on hat trick watches. They both have 2 goals. Into the offensive zone, Steen dumps it in deep. In on the forecheck now, Jensen trying to work it out for the Capitals. Bruins steal the puck, high slot. Coyle with a shot and a nice save there with the glove by Vanacek. Capitals trying to move it now. 8:25 to go in the third. Into the offensive zone. Played here. Yeah, honestly, Xanafied, he does. Into the offensive zone. Here comes Taylor Hall, but the Bruins are offsides, and that's going to get whistled down with 8:06 to go. Neutral zone draw coming up. Navkarin, welcome in. Thank you for being here. That's a toss-up one. That's a toss-up one. I personally am not betting that game. I won't touch a game like that. That is a coin flip if I've ever seen one. We were talking about a few minutes ago. I personally maybe slightly lean Rangers, but I really feel like that's a coin flip game and a really tough one to bet. So I am staying away from that game. I slightly lean Rangers, but I'm not confident in that at all. I mean, yeah, anybody that was on the Cup team, I mean, just winning that Stanley Cup was my favorite. Just those finals in general. Those finals in general were just, that series against Vancouver was, I mean, some of my favorite hockey I've ever watched in my life. Those teams absolutely hated each other. And it was just so fun to watch. And obviously then the Bruins winning topped it off. And that will always be like my favorite hockey memories, will be that series and the Bruins winning that cup. Bruins are never shy about adding alternates, Robert. They are never going to rebrand from the black and gold and the big spee that... Yeah, that's been the Bruins, you know, almost forever. It's original 6. It's classic. They're never going to change that, I don't think, but they're never shy about alternates. So I would not be surprised if they add in some new alternate ideas in the near future. Yeah, I got to imagine this is probably the highest for one game, Gerry, for this year. I can't think of any others where they've scored more than this. Bergeron, he hasn't really done a lot in the offensive zone, but he's made some great defensive plays in this game, which is classic Bergeron in his defense. But yeah, I'm a little surprised that he doesn't have any points given how many goals the Bruins have scored, but he's been very good defensively in this game. We're under 7 minutes now to go in the third. Bruins trying to work it out of their own zone, but the Capitals hard in on the forecheck. Ullmark has to stop that one, and he's going to make the save. And we'll get a whistle with 6:49 remaining. Still a 7-3 lead here for Boston. It'll be an offensive zone draw for the Caps. But, I mean, they're down by 4 with less than 7 minutes to go. They're certainly running out of time at this point. Marchand got hit on the bridge of the nose by Nick Dowd's stick in the first period, Jeff, and it completely opened up the bridge of his nose. It was bleeding profusely when it happened. Obviously, it stopped bleeding, but that's how he's got the huge mark on his nose now. Yeah, he does, John. He does. Yeah, the reverse retro really grew on me. And we get another whistle here. Now we got some pushing and shoving between these teams as Hathaway gets into it. There's no surprise there. McAvoy's there for Boston along with Marchand. I thought so, Navkar, and I thought so, but I don't know. That's a 1-1 game right now, but I took Avalanche puck line for that game tonight. Vakanainen has been good, Jack. I mean, I'm a little surprised because he hasn't shown a whole lot recently in his, at least at the NHL level, but he's been good since the call-up. Wilson was not on the ice for that little scrum there, but that broke up rather quickly. This hasn't been an overly physical game. I was honestly almost hoping for a little bit more animosity between these teams. It hasn't felt like some of the real hated Bruins Caps matchups of last season, but still, I mean, I'll certainly take the win as a Bruins fan, but I was definitely hoping for a little more physicality and nastiness in this one, but it just hasn't really materialized. Robert, if you look at them statistically, they've been very, very similar this year. They've both had strong seasons. I think they're both very good goaltenders. Swayman has a better goals against average, but I believe that Ullmark's save percentage is slightly better. But they've both won, a similar number of games, and I think they're very, very similar. I like both of them a lot. I really do, and I like them as a tandem as well. I think they mesh well together, and they obviously like each other a lot. We see it with the post game, hug after a win and all of that. And I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Ullmark-Swayman tandem. I don't know. There's been a lot of Bruins fans kind of bashing on the goaltending for some reason. Their goaltending's been very good this year. Both guys have save percentages close to .920. I don't know how you can really ask for anything more than that. I think they're most likely carrying 3 goalies, Robert. Swayman also has the option of going to Providence, whereas Ullmark, you can't, Ullmark is, not on a ELC, he's not on a 2-way deal, he's locked into the NHL. He's got to be on the Bruins roster. Swayman can be sent down, or they could carry 3. Honestly, with the number of guys that they can bring up and down for forwards, I honestly wouldn't be all that surprised if they carried 3 for a little while, but they could also, they have the ability to move Swayman up and down without any sort of waivers or anything because he's a rookie. Or, well, I guess it's his first, it counts as his rookie season, I guess, even though it's his second year of his ELC. But because he's on an ELC, he can move up and down. Yes, Marchand does still have dried blood on the front of his jersey, Barry. National championship is 6-9 for Bama. Sounds like a lot of field goals in that game, Red Rubber. Not exactly the most exciting national championship game. Vladar, he hasn't, he got lit up a couple of times recently, I think. He was doing very, very well in Calgary. But the last 2 games have not been as good. Let's see. Yeah. So he had been doing great, and then he gave up 4 goals against Tampa Bay and then 6 goals against Carolina in his last 2 games. And that's kind of skewed his numbers back in a negative direction. But before those last 2 games, Vladar was having a very good year for the Flames. Ryber, what's going on? Welcome in. Avail, what's going on? Welcome in. No, Vladar was doing excellent. He had a goals against average under 2 up until those until he got lit up in those last couple of games trial. He was having an outstanding season until Tampa Bay and Carolina just lit him up this past week. All right, see you later, Sharik. Thank you for watching. Have a great flight and have a safe flight. Hope it goes well. All right, we're up under 5 minutes to go in this one now. 4:53 remaining in the third. We'll have a face-off coming up here. Capitals in the offensive zone, down by 4. I mean, they would obviously need a miracle comeback at this point. Just kind of watching those minutes tick off the clock. But, man, Boston, this kind of feels like a little bit of a statement for the Bruins. Beating the Lightning on Saturday night on the road in Tampa Bay, then coming into Washington and beating the Capitals on the road. This Bruins team right now is playing significantly better than the Bruins team from before the Christmas break. And this team right now seems a lot more dangerous than they were before the Christmas break. So, I don't know. This team kind of has flipped a switch, it seems, and they're starting to get on a roll. They've been playing really, really well since the new year. All right, see you later, Trevor. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Gerry, Pastrnak is lighting it up since the line changes in the new year. 5 goals now in his last 4 games. The David Pastrnak we were hoping to see and expecting to see seems to finally be showing up this year for the Bruins. Ullmark is not going to get traded. That's not happening. Boston gave him a real, contract for a reason. They would have signed him to a 1-year deal if they were thinking they were going to move him. Honestly, he's really good. I mean, I think he's gonna be an integral part of that transition to Jeremy Swayman hopefully becoming the franchise guy. But Ullmark is gonna be that transition goaltender. Nashville's been awesome this season, Isaac. They're first place in the Central Division. They've been awesome. Peter, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. 3:20 now to go in the third. Capitals now. I think Rask is literally done after this year. I thought Rask was going to retire after last season. I think he's coming back for one last run for the short end of this season and one more playoff run, and that's gonna be it for Rask. I think he's retiring after this season. I honestly thought he was done after last year, but because he doesn't have to play a full year and is only basically gonna have to play February, March, and April, he's coming back. But I think he's done after this. I don't think he's playing like multiple more seasons. I do think that DeBrusk eventually gets moved, Robert. Yeah, I mean, Boston's obviously he's not in the lineup now. And Boston's playing great without him. They certainly don't need him. And I fully expect DeBrusk to be moved on at some point here. And I've been done with DeBrusk now for over a year, so I'm more than happy to see him get moved. Can't stand him anymore. Coyle's been very solid this season. I mean, bounce back year for Charlie Coyle. He's been very, very solid this season. Last year he had a horrible year, but he was injured. He played with a bad knee all year long, and his numbers were awful. He's got 8 goals this year. I'm perfectly content with the way that Coyle's played, and I think he's going to be a solid middle six guy. As long as he produces a little, at least a little bit of secondary scoring in the playoffs, I am fine with the way that Charlie Coyle's played this year. Much better than last season. Caps ice the puck, 2:10 to go. Again, not a whole lot going on here. Both of these teams are kind of playing like just back and forth until this clock runs down. I'm perfectly fine with the way that Charlie Coyle's played. I have this season, last year he was terrible. I was not good, but this year I'm perfectly content with Charlie Coyle this year. Tomorrow is going to be a fantastic matchup between the Predators and the Avalanche, John. Absolutely. That's a huge Central Division game. Both of those teams are very, very good. Pastrnak going for the hat trick. Can't stuff that one in. Bruins have it in the offensive zone. Played top of the circle. Spin around shot from Hall. Gets blocked. Long shot there. That ends up in the corner. Taken there by Pastrnak. Moved into the middle. That one goes by Halla. Hall gets knocked down here, and the Caps are going to start the breakout. We're down to 1:10 remaining in the third. Into the offensive zone. Here comes Tom Wilson. And he goes to the boards with Riley, but we get a whistle. Wow, really, Jack? Grzelcyk is the first Bruins defenseman to have a 5-point game since Ray Bourque in 1994. Capitals are going to get a power play here. Taylor Hall heads to the penalty box for tripping. This must have been back behind. Oh, he kind of... Yeah, that was one of those plays where you go into the boards and you get all tied up with the guy, and then he kind of dragged him down from behind. So Hall goes for tripping. Only like a minute to go in the third period, and this one's almost over. Capitals will get a power play here, though, for the rest of the third. I liked Backes a lot when he was in St. Louis, Robert. He did not play well in Boston. He was a big, big disappointment with the Bruins, but I liked him a lot with St. Louis when he was actually a really good player. But, yeah, I always liked David Backes. He just did not perform at all in a Bruins uniform. Vanacek makes a nice glove save there. Steen steals the puck, trying to tuck it in. That one ends up bouncing out in front. Capitals can't clear, though. Bruins shorthanded in the offensive zone. Yeah, exactly, Plump. Like, I liked Backes. I love power forwards and his style of play and all of that. But he was done by the time he got to Boston. And 30-plus-year-old power forwards are never a good idea to sign because they decline very hard and very quickly. Just because of the style of game that they play, it's hard to keep up. 100%, Jack. You hit the nail on the head with that. 100%. He was never the same after that Brent Seabrook hit in the playoffs. Never the same. All right, this game has gone final. Boston wins it 7-3. Another big road win for the Bruins as they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday night and follow it up with a big win, beating the Washington Capitals tonight. And that is a huge 4 points in the East for the Bruins here as they are on a roll to start the new year, coming back from the Christmas break. And Ullmark and Swayman with a big hug. Linus Ullmark wins his second game in a row. He gave up 2 goals against the Lightning. He gave up 3 tonight, but overall played very, very well in goal for the Bruins. And obviously Boston had enough offense here, plenty of offense with 7 goals in this one. And that is going to bring us to the end of this one. So thank you guys all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. I'm going to drop my upcoming stream schedule in the chat right now so you guys can get a look at it one last time. I'll be back live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for the Colorado Avalanche against the Nashville Predators in a huge Central Division game. Both teams very, very good out west this year. Nashville having a monster season. Really was not expecting that from them. And Colorado playing tonight will be on the second half of a back-to-back. We'll see how they look. They are 9-1 in their last 10 games as well. So Colorado has been playing great too. So should be a really fun game tomorrow. And hopefully you guys will come in and join for that. But thank you all so much for being here. And really, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. I cover the entire NHL, so fans of every team are welcome and wanted here. And really, really appreciate all the support tonight. We're just trying to grow a community where everyone can have fun, enjoy hockey, talk about hockey, and make it a great place for everybody. So thank you guys all again, everybody here. Let's see. I apologize if I missed anything important in the chat. We had a lot of people in the chat tonight, so you know, that was awesome to see. It was a really great chat tonight. And good night, everybody. Thank you all so, so much. Really, really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great day tomorrow. And hopefully I see you guys, if not tomorrow, at least at one of the other streams this week. I'll be going Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night again this week. So we got some great matchups coming up and some fun hockey to watch. So thank you guys again. Have a great night. Really, really appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. And hopefully we'll be talking to you soon. See you next time.